I know we're gonna have lots of good convo today. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's a girl, Kim, your favorite yada gal. Alright, today we are filming. You could have went, babe. You could still go. It's okay. Passenger seat princess here. So yes, today guys, we have another exciting video. This is gonna be episode 2. Let me put this on because that's about to be annoying. Episode 2 of the short series that I am doing. It's not really a podcast, but the thumbnail kind of suggests that. I don't know what to call it. I just didn't want to say podcast because I feel like everybody's doing a podcast, but it sort of is sort of like that. So I don't know. But yeah, it's called Beauty Talk, and I'm interviewing like a bunch of different beauty professionals, and not just beauty professionals, just professionals who work within the space that I work in. And I've come to admire a lot of these pros over the time that I've known them, and I just reach out to a few just to, you know, pick their brain a little bit. I love doing talks like this anyways with other professionals and entrepreneurs, and I just figure why not share, you know what I mean? I love meeting other people who are like on their ish, they got their business going and they got a lot going on for themselves. So if you're enjoying these, definitely drop a comment. If you're not subscribed, subscribe because you don't want to miss these. I don't just film these though, I also have tutorials, reviews, anything beauty related, you'll find it here. So if you like the glitz and glam and all that girly stuff, this is the channel for you. Anyways, y'all, I made matcha for the first time today and I definitely was shook, like real shook it. I expected something real nasty and like earthy, like grassy, real grassy.
That's what I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, because he was like, I was like, babe, do you want me to make you one? And he was like, yeah, no, I don't like that. I had matcha before, whoop de whoop. And I was like, yeah, you had matcha before, but whoever made it ain't no barista. She ain't Kim. Come on now, like, put some respect on my name. And show it did, because for it be my first time making this matcha, y'all, I know I put my foot in it. I wish you could taste it, but the recipe for it is gonna be either on my Instagram or TikTok or both. So definitely want to follow me over on my socials as well. All that information will be down in the description, as well as like our wonderful guest today. She's a fellow makeup artist, and I love that for us because I love when I talk to other makeup artists. It's just gonna be fire. I know that for sure. So you don't want to miss it. Don't click out. I just need to show y'all my matcha though, because first of all, the color gorgeous. You see that foam on top? Okay, I'll see y'all later.
At the stop sign, turn left onto Saluda Way.
Saluda Way. What accent is this?
South Africa. You know, I had to have the South African.
Is that what this is? That's crazy.
I know, right?
I see it.
Oh, yeah.
Arrived.
A what? You heard what she said? Arrived?
Yeah.
She said arrived. Girl, this neighborhood is to die for.
Girl, the HOA ain't it though.
Oh my god, I bet.
Hi, how are you?
I love your
I'm doing well,
floors. Deontay, Gigi, and
Pleasure.
Deontay. Oh my god, this is exactly what I need, is a studio space like this, but I'm just gonna get a shed because my house is big enough to have a space like this.
Yeah.
You got a kitty.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't know if you guys were okay with cats, but
I am very okay with cats. I
you
love cats.
Alright.
I had a little black kitten. And it was
They
called
wanted so
Eva.
bad.
Yeah,
I was like, no,
the kids
but
even randomly
it was
still
called
be like,
what? Because
What?
I literally
This is
picked
Eva.
these out. I picked out,
That's
this is my lash line, and I
crazy.
picked out, I have 22 babies, but I picked out her for today. It's weird you said
That's
that.
sick. Wow, look at that. See, girl, we're gonna get into a lot of talk because I already kind of prepped my a little bit of an intro. But I told him I didn't mention who you were or anything,
Right.
but I was like, y'all are gonna love her. Every time we've talked, we've had great combos. So I know we're gonna have lots of good combo today.
Talk shit.
This cat looking out the window like this is so bad. Makeup artists, like just having somebody else do your makeup and them not doing it properly, or
It's just like, because we have our own processes, you know, and like I think for me though it was kind of like super left field because this makeup artist was like being unsanitary.
I think that's where I was getting at.
So that was the only part because I was like, listen, you have your own process, but like at the end of the day, you're your own artist.
Yeah.
However,
on
you
my
have to be
face.
sanitary. Yeah, right. Like you got. No, we can't be doing let me apply gloss right out the bottle.
I feel good when I get to at least see other people work on people first, because I'm like, yeah, I'm glad the first time I saw you do that nasty thing was on my face, because I'd have a heart attack.
I feel like that's how literally every bridesmaid is at weddings.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to go first.
Yeah,
Literally every
see.
time they're like, oh, I'm going first, and I'm like, wow, now I'm gonna definitely make you look crazy.
Or when they're like unsure of what they want, but then when they see everybody else look good, then all of a sudden the numbers change from just a few people wanting to then they're like, oh, do you think it's okay if like my cousin wants her makeup done now? And I'm like, why don't she but?
Hi, I'm Gigi. I'm a professional makeup artist. I've been an artist for almost a decade of my life. I'm a makeup designery alum, and now I live in sunny South Carolina, providing bridal and editorial services. So if you need some makeup, you know where to go. And also, I'm the owner and operator of Amavi Lash. So for all my girls that have sensitive eyes out there, this lash line is for you.
So that's why I feel like this series will be great, because I will be like talking about, you know, just things that I feel like people want to hear. And for me personally, I find it very empowering when I have friends that are also in the business space.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And we can talk about things that matter and make sense and that's useful. Like for example, you just shared that that site that you just said for this public speaking class.
Oh yeah, Coursera.
You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that's something I've never heard about, and I'm sure somebody's gonna watch it and be like, "Wait, what?
Oh, yeah,
you said only
100%.
$100?"
It just comes down to literally like you're gonna have to make a sacrifice for something. Like there's no
Always.
other way. There's no other way.
Yeah, you're gonna lose a little bit of sleep or this or that, and I feel like that's how it's been as far as like trying to be successful in my business, because that's what I had to tell Deontay too. Like when it really comes into stepping into the space of entrepreneurship, it's different from just like showing up at a job and clocking in, doing what is.
Ooh, it might just be that little cord, or you can try to plug it. Yeah, there it is.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like, it's different from just like showing up at a job, doing what you are, like what's assigned to do, and then going home. And when you go home, I don't know about everybody, but me, when I used to have a job, when I leave here, I'm not thinking about here. I don't want anybody from here to call me when I've left. Like, I'm done with it.
Nope.
But it's like with your own business, it's 24/7, like literally in bed, and you're thinking, oh, did I respond to that email? And
I should make more content.
right, like
Did I fuck up that smoky liner?
girl, or just sitting and doing something as simple as like, okay, you're scrolling on your phone, just like looking back at the photos you took at the wedding or whatever client, and you're like, damn, I wish I had taken more photos, or I wish I realized the lighting was just like looking like shit, you know? And it's just so much. Like, you're thinking about it constantly, and it's hard to create that balance. Like, what are some of the things that you do that you feel like help, or do you feel like you're navigating that well?
I feel like I'm in a constant cycle of trying to get better with my time management because it's just so hard. I'm always like trying to play catch up and trying to make up for lost time with my kids or with myself, and like go to the gym and like try to take care of myself, which has been new. And I'm finally kind of coming back to myself after like kids, so that's been a struggle. Because like, how old are your kids?
So my oldest is 9, and then I have a 4-year-old, and my baby is 2.
Okay, so my kids are turning 2 and 3 this August, so they're like 1.5, 2 now. You know, so we're in that space.
They're both turning those.
So they're a
in
year
August?
apart. Yeah.
Damn, you like that time of year.
Girl, I found out I was pregnant again when my daughter was like 3 months old. Like literally back to back. Like,
what was that emotion like when you found out? Were you
Girl.
excited or just like mortified? Like,
girl, I
whoa.
was mortified. I was on the bathroom floor sobbing because I was like enrolled to go to SD school. and I like just paid $500 to save my spot. And then I like literally, as soon as I found out, like I was just like sick. Like I was so sick. It was rough. So both pregnancies were kind of rough for me as far as that goes. Like
Being sick.
yeah, it was not very fun.
So did you end up going to SC school still being pregnant?
No.
No.
I ended up pulling out. Yeah, and just like, well, funny. Well, that was with my daughter. That was with my first pregnancy that I was enrolled in everything. And then, funny enough, like I was like on a production kick.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I'm pregnant. Time to tear everything down. So that's everything.
Burn it down.
It's done. So with my son, like just throughout like being pregnant with my daughter, I tried to enjoy that, and then with my son, I was like full blown like workhorse. Like I just wanted to like focus on the businesses, and that's kind of when it hit me. Like life goes on, and there's just more to do, and it is what it is. But I can't stop doing what I need to do just because I have kids now. Like that's just like not. That's no way to honor myself and the things I want to do,
or even them. Because that's one thing I will say. I feel like every time I've gotten pregnant, I've done some impulsive business thing. Because it is stressful, but it also, for me, I feel like pushes you a little bit more too. Because for one, there's a real life time clock on it. So it's not just like sitting and like talking to a friend or just like your family and be like, I really want to like own my own business, or I want to do this or do that. Like, if you were trying to be like, I want to do this for my kids, and you know, well, I have 4 months left, I have 2 months left, it's like having a stop clock behind you while you're trying to get something done, and it lights a fire up under your ass.
Dude.
Like,
It's
crazy.
Dude, you're so, you know, it's funny that you say that.
What? See, it's the kids. So I'm going to read it because I don't think y'all can see, but it says, seek what sets your soul on fire. We've been so on point with everything we've been saying. Like, that's kind of crazy.
No, but it's so fucking true, though. Like, kids.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's why I always told myself, my goal was to just, like, live in New York, get signed to an agency, and just, like, live artist life. And, like, very shortly after I got signed to an agency, like, I met my husband, and then, like, a year later got married, got pregnant back-to-back and all the things, and, like, obviously my whole life direction changed, but I'm so grateful for it because I literally can't imagine just doing what I thought was going to make me happy, which was just being in the city and doing that. Like, I feel like now, you know, I have kids younger than I thought I wanted to have kids, but I'm, like, I can't imagine my life any other way, and, like, being able to grow with them, being able to, like, show them, like, mom's got her own things and dad's got his own things, but that doesn't mean we're stopping what we're doing. Like, you know, I just feel like raising them that way too. Like,
and then being able to grow and see with you, because my oldest, God, she's something else. Like, now that she's older, she's at this point now, like that 9-year-old.
Oh my God.
Girl, she said she's
grown.
a preteen. And I'm like, girl, I'm like, not a preteen. Girl, please hush and go to your room. Like,
oh my God.
No, but it's sick. But now I feel like she's at this age where we have great conversations. Like this past year, which is something to, I will say, I'm so thankful that I have been able to do it for myself. That I've like decided to myself, I'm just gonna quit my job and just do this full time. You know what I mean? Obviously, I know the money's not gonna come right away, but I feel like it must be done to get to the level that I need to. Plus, it started really wearing on me that I was never around for the kids. Like when I was in school and everything, girl, my daughter would be saying things like, and it's so funny that they're so unintentional with it, but they don't realize like that's something I'm actually struggling with already, and you're just like making me feel like real bad, like I'm failing. Like she'd be like, yeah, because you know mommy's never here. I'd be like, girl, I was like, oh, like take me down. Dude. Shoot, and it be stuff like that all the time. Or like even my husband, like unintentionally, he'll be like, "Yeah, because you know, Daddy knows, Daddy got it." Because you know, I'm like, dang, like it is true. I am working more, and I'm at school. I'm at school 10 hours of the day, and then I have a job. So there's no time. Like that's also when I started going to therapy because I felt like I was losing my mind trying to juggle it all.
I can only imagine.
And the therapist straight up was like, I think you came here to hear the obvious, like you needed somebody to tell you, but what you're doing is not sustainable. But I really could not fathom quitting my job because I was, you know, I have a family. And when you're used to making money, it just felt like irresponsible to choose to just like focus on my family, which is crazy to even say that we as mothers have to feel like we have to intentionally be like, I'm gonna choose my family and feel guilty about it.
You're gonna feel guilty no matter what you do.
Girl, that's why I was like, dang, I could be focused on the career. Like, oh, I'm gonna make sure that they eat and eat good. Or I'm gonna like kind of just make sure that I'm not doing too much so that I'm there for them more often. But, you know, we might be lacking some stuff or this, that, and the third. Things might be different for a little bit until it picks up. Or just feeling like you're being lazy or something. I don't know.
Girl.
But it really was like crazy because last year I've gotten to be around the kids so much more. We just bought our first home, so
congratulations.
like thank you. Like even being able to be a part of that process, and you know Deontay's in the army, so like he has things that you know come up to and this that, and the third. So just feeling like dang, like I don't want my kids to grow up and be like, yeah, my parents worked a lot and we had a great life, but they weren't really around us.
Yeah, which is exactly how I feel. Like my parents are immigrants. Like we moved here when I was like 4, and they just worked all the time. And that's like most of my like memories from childhood. Like they just weren't around. And so a big part of like what I want to do is because I do want that like freedom to be able to do what I want and have that time with my family if I choose to. You know, just have more flexibility. So it's kind of hard because it's like they made so many sacrifices for us, but I'm not mad because here we are and I'm grateful.
Right.
You know, but at the same time, looking back, I'm like, did I want more time with them as a kid?
Course.
Yeah, but I don't think any amount of time would have been enough.
Right.
Either way.
Right, because then it would be something else for you to be mad about. Like, you know, like, damn, all the kids had this. And, like, we always had a struggle for this. Or my mom always said, we can't do this because she never had the money. You know what I mean? It's always something. But I feel like us having kids, too, well, for me especially, it's definitely allowed me to have a lot more grace for my mom because I have that same experience. You know, I'm not from here. I'm Jamaican. So growing up, I did feel like things were different. And also with me being, I'm the oldest of my siblings on both sides. So I feel like I was a test dummy for a lot of things. But it's crazy thinking that when you're like younger, you really think all the grown-ups have the answers.
Oh, yeah.
And
Isn't
then
that
here
so
we
funny?
are.
Like we're the grown-ups?
Like, bruh. And don't ask me for advice.
Oh,
Lord.
That's
Be
right.
like, I'm barely hanging on by a thread. Be like, don't ask me.
That part. It's just the blind leading the blind, dude.
Mm-hmm.
None of us know what the fuck is going on.
But I think that allows me to have more grace for people. And just like I was saying, like for my parents. Because, yeah, like I used to be aggravated at that too. I was just like my daughter. My mom's a nurse. She works 12-hour shifts. So when she's not working, she's sleeping.
Yeah.
For her shift. Like, so I was like, bro, even if she is here, she's not really here.
Right.
And it was always a passion of hers, too, to be a nurse. She always wanted to be a nurse. So it's a tough choice, feeling like you have to choose between the two.
Yeah.
And I sympathize with anybody who has to make that decision. It really is, like, hard. I love all these that you have on here. Babe, look at this.
It makes my life easy. Yeah.
Like,
So I don't have to say it, technically, right?
like this is so cool. Everything, including Cash App, even though I don't like taking Cash
I
App.
haven't
But
seen your website.
oh, girl, that's me forever to build.
I just rebuilt my new website.
It sucks because I'm trying to rebrand now, and I'm like, that means I have to come up with a new name, which means I have to make a new website, and that's part of the reason that's stopping me from doing that so far. Because I'm like, dang, like a rebrand requires so much.
Dude, we're like in the same headspace right now because literally same.
Yeah, especially when you don't have them. You're not like making all the extra money yet. I'm like, I just did my taxes, and I actually am surprised at how much my business made. I'm like,
I have to do my taxes. Don't
I just did mine, and I am surprised I made more than I thought I did. Like, but I also spent way more than I thought I did.
Yeah, well, because we're working so. Girl, I'm spending like $300 every time I gotta like re-up all my foundations and all things. Like, get out of here.
And not even just that. Like, when you're starting out, almost everything you make, you're going to spend.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to be pocketing anything. I'm not at a point yet where I'm even paying myself. Like,
girl.
I make enough to pay my employees and to run the business. Make sure it doesn't like I have to be like, oh well, I can't afford to pay for the website this month, or I can't pay for the booking site. They're like, hey, your booking site's down because we missed the payment. Like, you know what I mean?
Like sorry, it's gonna be cash only for you.
Just like DM me, which is just like crazy.
It's rough out here, man. Business owning is not for the weak.
And it's tough doing things the right way. And that's why I feel like people should really appreciate people who try to do things the right way. Because they be talking about they want people to act professional. But I'm like, it is so much cheaper for a person to just have an Instagram account, post their work, be on and popping.
Be like, DM me
and
for
then,
appointments.
right, DM me for bookings. And then when they miss their appointments or this, that, or third, or whatever, then you're complaining that they're unprofessional. But it's just like, people who usually take their business more seriously and take the extra steps.
Mm-hmm. There's more policies and procedures.
Right, because they're putting more things in place.
Yeah.
And you want it, but you don't want it. Like, make it make sense. Like, what do you want us to do? Because I'm sorry, I can't provide the professionalism at that price. The price that she's charging, that's not going to happen over here.
No, true.
It's so, you're gonna take it or leave it. Or you're going to go over there and cross your fingers. Like, that's it. So.
This has been a big year of, like, charging what I'm worth and, like, trying to, like, not feel bad. I think, like, every year I get, like, more and more just, like, it is what it is. This is what I'm charging now. Like it or not. You know what I mean? Yeah. But, like, when you know you're paying for that, like, level of artist or whatever it is, like, you know that it's going to be an exceptional service. Like, there's no question about it, you know? Whereas, like, I could pay the $60 for the makeup application, but I don't know if I'm walking out with pink eye. I don't know if I'm walking out with someone trauma dumping on me. Like, I want my appointment to be, you know, like, fun and light and breezy, whatever it is.
You just
and it's like
energy.
herpes.
Yeah. Like this is going to be life-changing for you now.
Surprise.
Like, that's not something like, you can...
Oh my gosh.
I don't think people realize how much their safety should be a concern. I'd be shocked how much people are willing to overlook certain things.
No, I agree.
I'm like, that's not alarming to you that she tip that lipstick and put on your lip like that?
But, and you know what? The worst part is even seeing some really big content creators doing that. Like, I'll literally be like, oh my god, they posted a tutorial and I'm watching it, and then the last step, they're putting on lip gloss right from the bottle, and I want to comment so bad, like, did you give her that lip gloss?
Too.
Is that her lip gloss now? Because
too.
What?
And
how you have 80,000 followers doing that?
And that irks me because that's also one of the reasons why I went back on YouTube this year, because I was like, I really need people to be out here showing the right things, because for the up and coming artists, like, I learned to do makeup off of YouTube. So if I didn't have a solid people watching that were makeup artists, I'm glad I really did like care about sanitation from the get-go, because it was nerve-wracking to me to have like a negative review. So I had to make sure that, hey, if I'm watching somebody's video, like, I obviously don't know right off the bat, like, this is right, this is not right, because I don't know. I've never been in this space. But some of the stuff, I'm like, I feel like they should be mentioning like some type of sanitation.
Oh, 100%.
So once I watched like a few people's video and they're like, yeah, and we depot this for sanitation and da-da-da-da. So then I had to specifically type in sanitation for makeup artists. Like, you have to do the research to train for it, you know what I mean? And then that's when I did my barbicide course and the this and the that, because I'm like, I feel like too many people are skipping over that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, nobody talks about it. Like, honestly, I can't tell the last time I've watched, especially a recently on and popping person actually mention, and you want to make sure you don't put this on their face, or I'm only doing this because this is her personal lip gloss. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to do it, say why, because you know people are watching this because they have hopes of being a makeup artist.
Right. So now we got a bunch of like little amateur makeup artists running around fucking using
and everybody's saying they're right, because that's what they learned.
Because you didn't fucking clarify.
Right. And
some people just don't know better.
Exactly.
They go to school.
Exactly.
They're a YouTube University makeup artist.
And I'm like, see, but as a person who came up out of YouTube University, I'm like,
it's okay, but having
it's on you too, right? And caring enough, because I knew when I was watching these videos that there has to be more to it than the application. And then I started finding the working people, and then I started looking up the stuff for safety. You know what I mean? I feel like these girls just be looking for somebody with a big face and that has numbers. Trendy. Everybody wants to do the trendy thing, and clients do that too when they're booking, which is crazy. Like, they're gonna book the trendy makeup artist. And it's like, bro, you're not even looking at her portfolio. Like, that's crazy.
Literally, though. I think there's just so many different types of clienteles, too. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it just totally depends what you specialize in, too.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, come on, we have the really good clients that come in and make our day and make us feel like this is why we do what we do. And then we have the clients that come in and just make our life harder. And we're just like you've clearly never you've never sat with a service provider. Yeah, before. Like,
a proper service provider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I hear you, Mama. It's rough.
It really is. And it sucks, too, trying to be professional because when we do get those one-off people, because personally, I'm not going to lie, I've only ever had bad experiences with clients when I work with other people, like other companies, like freelance myself. And I don't know if it's like that for you, but I feel like kind of like you attract certain people, obviously, based on who you are and your own energy. So I feel like when I work with certain teams, they do attract those difficult brides that are annoying as hell.
It's because they're also, like,
right,
selling and charging is like a team. So I don't know, like the part where you're just kind of being like thrown into like random situations. Like, you don't know what kind of bridal party you're gonna get. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it takes a very graceful person to be able to kind of like manage that too, because like I said, almost like all the time, every time I do a bridal party, there's something that pisses me the fuck off. And it's truly because they just don't understand the etiquette of like how you should treat a service provider. But I'm like, you're hosting a group of people that are coming to help you and provide you something special on a special day. The least you can do is like have some water out, have some
Girl,
snacks.
don't talk about it.
Oh, you need me to move these tables? This space isn't enough.
No, I'm just gonna set it up on my lap. Like, how?
Do you see the luggage? Plus, do you see all the equipment?
Girl,
like,
don't get me started. We just did a wedding the other day, and thank God I had a bottle of water in my car. Because after 6 hours of standing there, they came in with a handful of water, I guess because one of them got thirsty, and then they handed me a bottle of water literally as I'm on my last person after doing 7 people before them. I'm like, you just now think I'm thirsty? I've been thirsty since I got here.
I don't even bother anymore. I remember I used to feel so bad when I first started. I literally would go pee like before, but then if I had to go in the middle, I would just hold it. Like, I wouldn't stop. I'd just try to knock everyone out. I'd just be taking my time. I'm like, no, I'm going to need 10 more minutes to reset, and then we can finish up this last appointment or whatever it is. If I got to stop halfway through, I'm going to stop halfway through. And if I got to go ask for some fucking water, then I hope you feel bad for not being able to
offer
people
it without
like
me
a normal
having
person,
to ask.
like a human. Like, no matter who's walking in my house, I'm like, do you need something? Can I help you? This is where the bathroom is. Tell me what you need, and I will help you.
Where are your parents from? Because it might be the immigrant thing. Because I say that.
The immigrant thing.
Yeah, because I told Deontay, I say, if you walk into a Jamaican person's house and they don't offer you something to eat or drink, you should go because they don't want you here.
Yeah, no, period.
Because it's the first thing that they do. You like they're going to start taking pot covers off and be like, yeah, I don't got much, but ask him when we
But
visited.
did you eat today? Right, but yeah,
always.
Literally.
And even if they're gonna ask you multiple times, like they ask you now, and then if you there more than 20-30 minutes, they're gonna ask you again, you sure you don't want something?
Yeah.
And you're just like, no.
And they don't take no for an answer. They go be like, oh, you're full? No, here's more.
Just eat a little piece of bread, like eat it. It's just like
literally.
It's crazy.
Again, that's how like we were raised. It must be the immigrant thing. Like some people just don't know better, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's gonna hurt my own feelings at the end of the day. I'm gonna come home and I'm gonna drink my glass of wine.
Girl, I always sit for like 45 minutes in my car after I do a wedding. I always need to decompress.
No, literally. As soon as I'm in the crowd, I'm like, this bitch. No,
girl, I had a bridal party one time that I was so pissed. My hand was like physically shaking while I was doing the application.
What happened?
The bride's mom, like,
God, I was just about to say a mother of the bride story. Too.
Girl, yes, she. Oh my gosh, they were from Jersey, and
I'm sorry, Jersey people are crazy.
Girl, they were from Jersey, and she.
Oh God.
She just, I guess she was used to like heavy bronzer. And she, like, I bronzed her. She was bronzed, girl. And you know, the way we do makeup, especially as bridal makeup artists, we think about how the photos are going to look. So I'm not going to do anything crazy harsh on your face. And then when you get your photos back, you're not even the bride. And you're the main one standing out with this harsh, just like, on your face. Like, we're not doing that.
Mm-mm.
But I don't know, like, girl, it was almost like borderline blackface what she wanted me to do. Like, she was so bronze.
She wanted the Snooki bronzer.
Yes, she kept wanting to be more bronze, and it started getting to the point where it was uncomfortable. I was like, it's not looking good. At the end of the day, it's also my work. Like, I feel bad.
We have to meet in the middle.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So she kept coming back over and over and over again, and she's like, "Yeah, I just don't feel like it's like bronze enough." And I'm like, "I promise you, it is. Like, don't come back over here anymore." And then,
oh my god,
her like. She started doing this thing, and this is where I started getting super anxious, because at this point, this is where I started getting in that point of me biting my tongue.
Oh no.
I was working, and she was standing behind me over my shoulder, constantly talking about, yeah, see, look, like, she's just not bronze. And she's talking to the whole room. She's like, look, she's just, like, not bronzing anybody enough. And she's, like, talking about me while I'm working. And I'm trying to work, and my hand started shaking, girl. Cause,
oh my god. I would have literally had to step away, put my brush down, and be like, ma'am,
girl,
I'm trying to service provide, and you are getting in the way.
Girl, that was a first for me. I was like, I'm about to walk out the door because you're impeding on my mental health right now. Like, I am 10 seconds away from snapping, and I've never been unprofessional like that to argue with a client. But you're this close. Like, this is how much of a nerve I have left. Like, back up. You're too close to me. If I can do this and touch you, you're too close to me. Back up.
Literally.
Like, I'm not even servicing you right now. Why are you standing here?
Dude.
Girl, she pissed me off so bad. And it was crazy. It wasn't until the photographer got there and the mom was still being a diva that the bride was like, Mom, shut the fuck up. And I was like, where was that energy?
Yeah, right.
When she was harassing me.
No, literally.
Girl, it was crazy. And I honestly hated that bridal party so much. Sorry to say that, but when I was done, that was the first time ever I was done, and I didn't even do the whole, all right, bye, thank you guys. I packed up my shit silently, and I walked out. I don't even know if they know when I left. I just, I had no more words.
I feel, dude, that hurts my heart so much.
Girl, I sat in my car for so long that day. My heart was racing. I thought I was going to pass out. I started getting lightheaded and all. Dude, I was like, bro, she
that
is.
That shit literally pisses me off so bad for you, because, like, I don't let anybody see until I'm done, because it's a process. And then I'm like, okay, if there's any small adjustments that you want to make, we can do that in moderation. Okay, I'm not taking off your lashes, putting on a new set. Like, it's not what we're going to do. But I can blend out some eyeshadow for you, and I can add a little something. But if, honestly, I don't even know what I'd do. If they kept bothering me, I'd be like,
girl,
I'd be like, this is as much as I'm willing to do, because I know this is not going to translate pretty in pictures. So I'm sorry, you can go apply as much bronzer as you want on your own, but this is where I'm going to stop and take my finishing pictures.
Right, let me take a picture
in the middle, but that's about it. And then I'd have to respectfully decline to add any more.
To do anything else.
Because I went to school for this and you didn't. I understand it's your face, but then you can go apply. You can go pack that whole freaking canister of bronzer on your face by yourself. I'm not going to help you.
Girl, it was
crazy.
horrible. And then they just...
And then her talking shit.
Girl.
Oh my god.
She was like, after every time somebody got out of the chair, she was like, come, let me see. I was like, when I say
like, what are you, like, the freaking...
Girl, I was like, I'm sorry, they should have hired you.
The makeup police.
They should have definitely hired you, because I don't even know why I'm here. Shoot.
Dude, I think that's the part that, like, just makes my blood pressure go up.
And see,
like,
this is what I mean by when these things happen, it makes me feel like I just need to stop working with people, because to me, in that situation, I kept thinking, like, if this was my company, I know if this happened to one of my artists, they have my full backing to walk out and leave, and you're still going to get paid, because it's in my contract. Like, it has to be a safe and conducive work environment. You know what I mean?
Right, no, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, nah, everybody's going to get something like... So now I type out some stuff out of my contract on my booking site itself before they even book.
Okay.
And there's a checkbox where they have to click, I agree with terms and conditions. Second you do that, that's a signature. You have agreed to my terms and condition, ma'am. There is such a thing as called a legally binding document. Dude. You should learn it before you sign shit. Like,
dude, this is fucking wild.
And people be so mad when they realize they can't
just complain their way into getting what they want.
I'm like, ma'am, I ain't one of them.
I'm like,
Get out
I
of my
own my
inbox.
own business, so you can harass and bully me until
Right.
you get your $100 refund.
And I'm only gonna respond to you.
I feel like you
few
owe me money
times.
for this fucking headache. You
And
fucking
this is a
kidding me?
free consultation that we're not about to have. Because why are you still talking to me?
Oh my god.
We are no longer working together. So like, what are you saying?
A mess. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay because it makes me feel good every time that I win. Because I'm just
True.
like, I'll try it.
True.
And then it also teaches me every time something like that happens, I almost always revise my contract to and add something else in because I'm like, yeah, it always is that those one person who like try to like find a loophole or something, and then when you win the case, you'd be like, all right, that was a close one, but now you've shown me that I need to be specific about this.
Mm-hmm.
And when people look at your contract and they feel like, wow, this is like a little bit excessive.
Be like, I dealt with a lot of shit.
Exactly. I'm like, that's
Now
what y'all
I'm no
don't know.
longer willing to deal with a lot of shit.
Every policy I have is because of a client.
Mood. No, me
So-
too. Me too. My contract is like
It wouldn't be in
6
here
pages
if a
long.
person were trying it.
Dude, so did you see recently on social media, it was like, how do you feel about people booking services for a wedding but don't specify that it's for a wedding?
Oh yeah, that's hilarious.
That is hilarious because I would have pulled up and been like, I want the
You
money
should see a
up
full
front.
bridal party.
'Cause, no,
like, I'd be sick.
I'm leaving. I'm not even unpacking the rest of my shit.
Oh, me
Because
either.
first of all, you lied to me. So if you want to keep me for me to stay here, you're paying my full rates and you're paying them up front. I'm not
Mhm.
even. I'm just gonna turn around and walk out. Have a great blessed day.
Yeah, and it's
we ain't got
crazy.
time.
It's crazy too because like people like to argue and talk about like what's the difference in like why am I paying a different price for bridal? I'm like because when somebody said they're gonna do a photo shoot and I know it's like an hour-long photo shoot, then they're gonna go take it off. It's different from me knowing that you're gonna be in this space all day.
Sweating,
You're
eating,
gonna be dancing,
making
you're
out. Like,
kissing people, all kinds of things. Like
Yeah.
obviously you don't want me to treat you like everybody else, so you're not gonna pay the prices that everybody else pays. Also, you get a touch-up kit. You're in my inbox for a whole year before your appointment. My regular clients, they book, I see them, and then we never speak again unless they're booking again. The same things don't apply to you, ma'am. You're not in that category at all.
no,
You're
and
not
then I
that
gotta
girl.
work with timelines and with schedules.
I'm working with your
With other
planner, your
vendors.
photographer, everybody.
Oh my god, no, it's the aunties and the moms for me. Like the second you're in my space, in my kit, or grabbing shit out of my kit, that's when it's a fucking wrap for me. Like within the last 6 months, like this has always been a major problem for me, right? I got my list of red flags, but that just irks the
No, it
shit
really
out of
does.
me. Like when someone's like, "Ooh, what is that?" Reaches in my kit and grabs something. These days, I literally put anything I have in my hand down, take a step back, and I go, "This is my equipment. Please don't touch it." Please, did you ask?
But you shouldn't have to
No.
tell grown people that.
But you shouldn't have to tell grown people. And the worst was, I was at a wedding, and this fucking mom pulled up with her 2 daughters, and her daughters at the same time started reaching, grabbing, blah, blah, blah. And then so does the mom. And I literally, the bride was in my chair. I literally looked at the bride, and I was like, you gonna say something? I was literally like, you gonna say something or am I?
Right.
Because that is inappropriate. I don't just go touching people's shit that is not mine.
Are you in any of like the Facebook
Yes.
pages with like makeup artists?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I just saw one too where a client, she was like, this has never happened to me before, so help, because I don't know what to do. But she had a client, she was doing a wedding, and they had the kids in the room. Look up. And she basically, I guess, I don't know if it's the bride's nieces or nephews or whoever, but one of the kids that was there, they were running around, stepped on the cord for her light, and broke her ring light.
I would have been like, I'm going to send you the
So-
invoice so you can purchase
Yeah.
a light for me.
So
Because that's your kid. That's not mine.
Yeah,
if my kid did that to someone else, I would expect
Like, you have
to pay.
to.
You cannot.
And see, that was...
I'd be like, I just call the police. It's fine.
I love when things like that happen too, because it teaches me. Because then the people in the comments were like, "Yeah, I have that in my contract." I was like, "I don't. I need to add that."
Girl, I have so many screenshots of things from those groups that I'm like, oh, gotta put it in my contract. Oh, gotta put it in, my website. Ooh, what's going on with that?
Yeah,
Sorry.
because it really was like, oh yeah, that is definitely like a thing. But it says like a lot of people say, yeah, they have it in their contract where no kids, like no kids
Dude.
around like the equipment unless they're being serviced. Like they can't
Literally.
be right
Are
here.
there people that are like, can I just hold my baby? No.
Girl, I just did somebody's makeup breastfeeding.
See, that's, I don't know. Just like for me, that's just a no because
It's a gray area because I had to tell her too when I was about to like powder and all kind of stuff. I was like, you might want to give your baby to somebody because
you're gonna get powder.
the particles are gonna fall.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that your baby's breaking out or this and the third. We don't know your baby's allergies.
Yeah, true.
Your baby didn't book with me. Like that's illegal.
Your baby
reasons.
didn't put down or non-refundable retainer.
Right, they didn't click that they agree with my terms and conditions. They cannot be in this space because I'm not legally covered if anything happens to your said child.
It's just like, even in my studio when I have clients come, I'm just like, client acknowledges that only
Don't bring extra
the client in this contract signing will be allowed into the studio, period.
Mhm.
And because I'm like, this is a luxury experience. This is a chance for you to unwind and relax. I don't want you stopping every 3 seconds to yell at your kid. I don't want your kid grabbing my shit. I don't want your kid tripping or falling or getting hurt. I'm like, leave them at home. If you can afford to pay for a luxury makeup service, you can afford to pay for a babysitter for 3 hours.
Mhm.
Otherwise, no, that's not the energetic level of shit that I'm willing to deal with anymore. Maybe an artist that's been working for a year or two, but not me. I'm good.
I feel like in that case, if you, let's say you cannot find somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
In that case, that's when you need to pay a travel fee and I'm coming to you.
Mm-hmm.
Let your kid run around in your own home.
Yeah.
They're in their house, so you can probably put them in a room that they're used to and be like, hey, let me put something on the TV, but they can't be in my space because for when they're going to be just walking around my studio or my house, wherever I service provide out of, they're going to be touching my kids' stuff. Like, kids have so much bacteria and stuff going on with them. Like, I would just rather not. But
let's not even go there.
Yeah, it's going to have to be in a different space, and there's obviously just going to be additional fees. So, like you said, that extra fee that you're going to pay, you might as well just consider.
Which, speaking of travel fees, first of all, say this for everybody, all the cameras, if you got stairs, yeah, I'm about to start charging extra, because
my God.
I'm sorry, but ain't nobody coming to pay for my chiropractic care for the rest of my life. But let me tell you, my back is the back of a 45-year-old. Because I be dragging my shit around all day, and I'm heavy on the let me condense my kit because I carry around too much.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's me going up 4 flights of stairs before the services even start, just to set up, get ready, all the things, before you even get ready. Before the actual service you paid for. I'm sitting here having a whole ass workout before I even get to get paid.
Girl, when I just did a wedding in Charleston and the venue was I'm lightheaded. The Thomas Owens. No, I think because I've been down. I don't never eat early. But
drink some.
Well, the Thomas Owens, what you call it? It's a venue in Charleston. Girl,
like that. There's so many.
It's a massive mansion. First of all, when I came, I had to go up steps to get to the door to go inside the house.
Yeah, no.
And then when I opened the door of the mansion and
there was
I
fucking
saw
stairs.
It was the big winding steps.
Oh, yeah.
I almost passed out.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
yeah, what is that? There's another one that has me super fucked up. That does the same shit. Yeah. Me dragging my kid around, and nobody helps, and I love it when all the men sit there and just watch you. And I'm just like, damn, your mama didn't raise you right. He was laughing at me, and I was like, you don't even understand. If you saw my kit when I first got out of school and what I was working with to do full-blown fucking shoots, you wouldn't even believe that I was able to do makeup out of the shit that I used to carry around.
mm-hmm.
And now this is like a dream. This is what I wished I always had the money for. And the level of professionalism that I could always spoil.
Like how you saw yourself when you just started out.
Yes, it's like seeing all these celebrity makeup artists that do so much travel. You're like, oh my god, you get to travel and make money and get to see the world.
Because I follow a lot of celebrity artists.
Dude, right? It just seems like such a far beyond level of wow, I could get there one day. How do I do that? Right. So looking back, the artists that first started to now, we've done a lot of growth, and I think it's so important to have to stop and like really admire and thank yourself and your body for pulling forward and doing all the things and dealing with the bullshit.
And being committed to growth, because
Girl.
like if you really don't grow, you'd probably like years later still be that same artist, which is kind of crazy.
And that's the thing. I'm so dedicated to my growth journey that I almost like can't understand it when people just aren't. It's like if you're not taking a step forward, you're standing in the same place. And for me, it's just like, then what's the point of being here? Like, you're supposed to have more experiences, good and bad. You're supposed to grow. You're supposed to put yourself in hard situations and like grow. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. And honestly, it kind of irks my nerve a little bit when I feel like the people like that who don't even like clearly take it seriously enough. You know, I'm just like, how are you getting these opportunities, or why are you even taking up space in this field? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're cluttering the space. Because I feel like the industry right now is so overly saturated. And if we just weeded out the people who don't even really care to be here, and they're only here because they're actually getting booked and making money, and just leave room for the people who actually are investing thousands of dollars on like doing class after class after class or this or the third. I think it's a little unfair.
No, I do, but I also feel I feel like karma is gonna do its thing. You know what I mean? And I feel like those people that are here just for a short amount of time, and it's not like a career thing, like they're gonna weed themselves out, and they're gonna disqualify themselves from the running and the next level shit that we walk up to and we're prepared to take on. Like, and that's what it comes down to. I'm like, I remember I was so excited about this amazing opportunity, and I was so nervous because I asked for more money than I had ever made, and it was for one job, and I was so nervous, but I pitched it. Anyways, they agreed to pay me that. And I'm big on, like, let me not share my blessings just yet because people might, like, throw bad energy into it, right? So I finally decided to open my mouth and, like, be hype about it and share it with somebody. And they happened to have a friend there that I had never met before. And that friend literally said, wow, it must be nice to be able to make money like that. And I said, I'm sorry, were you there when I busted my ass and worked for free for years when I first started? I literally would get on a train for an hour and a half at like literally 4:30 in the morning just to get into New York early, on time before anyone else, start my day like 3.5 hours before everyone else, just to make it on set, get everyone ready, and then wrap up my day at like 8 p.m. and then get back home at like 1 a.m. in the morning. And during fashion weeks, forget about it. I got no sleep. Were you there?
And did you realize, like, a lot of people don't realize this too, Fashion Week and a lot of those, they don't pay you.
They don't pay. I would spend $200 on lashes and get paid none and get fed none.
It's just like you go there in hopes of maybe I'll just like meet great people and I'll make connections.
And it's
like,
an experience.
You don't get paid.
Not at all. But it was still like you grow as an artist somehow, and you meet other amazing artists, and you get it's
a chance of collaborating.
Yeah. So that just like irked me so bad because I'm like, that's the difference between people that are willing to work for their shit and people that aren't. Because the people that aren't will sit there and say, wow, you're so lucky. No, it's not fucking luck. It's hard work. You know nothing about that. I don't sleep at night. I raise my kids, and I work my ass off, and then I try to create content, and then I try to do a million other fucking things, and then I try to show up and still support my other local business owners. So the people that sit there on their ass and they're like, wow, that was so easy. LOL.
Anything but that. Like, girl, the other day too, I just, like, for example, like the weekend I just had, I worked SCAD production, right? Got home at like 1 o'clock. I still had to prep my stuff because I had a wedding the next day.
I saw your stories and I was like, felt
girl. And then I had to be up and out my house by 4:45 a.m. When I laid down until it was 2:30, I was about ready to kill myself. I was like, damn, I'm about to have to get up in like an hour. And like that, those are the things that people don't get. You get what I'm saying? Like, don't compare yourself to me if you wouldn't do the things that I would do for my business. Like, if you wouldn't do it for yours, don't expect like to have the same stuff that I have or the same jobs or the same opportunities because you're not gonna put in that work like I am.
Girl.
Like, this is literally, like, my life. Aside from my kids and, like, my immediate family, my makeup is this is the only other thing that I've basically given birth to. Like, I started my kit with a tight budget, and I bought what I could afford, and I've watched it grow and build just like a child. Like, this is personal to me, so.
Girl. Actually, speaking of my keynote speech, right, for my little course thing, my very last point.
Are you doing a course?
Well, that course, that dynamic public speaking one. So my final project, I have to like create a keynote speech and then present it. So I made my speech. I created it, so I'm just trying to practice it before I pitch it. And the very last point of my speech is, my passion is my purpose. And it's so true, because I've been sitting there thinking so heavy on it recently, and I'm like, man, like, we're here because we're meant to be here. Right. All right. But each one of us choose to invest in something that helps us grow, you know, in so many different ways. Right. And it helps us become a well-rounded human. And it's so funny, because for a long time, I just felt like makeup just wasn't good enough. You know, makeup just wasn't like
a real job.
Like a real job. And that's how a lot of people think of it. It's just a hobby, right?
That's also why they feel like we don't deserve to make the money we make. Because they don't think it's as important work as, like, them feeling like, wow, I went to school to get a degree for 4 years, and you're just doing makeup, and it's crazy that you make that much money.
And that's just service providing. Like, you need tough skin. You might have a fucking client that really tries you, okay? But there's gonna be a client after. You can't just leave.
You can't.
You gotta start and finish. Like, I literally have to go through, like, a mental, like, checklist before I go to a wedding these days. I have to make sure I take care of myself so well the day before, the day of, and after. Because I feel like my body and even my mental is so fragile at the moment. Because you're just dealing with so many different personalities, or chaos, or fucking bullshit, you know? And the thing is that in order for me to act as my highest self, I need to be as calm as possible.
Right.
You know what I mean? I need to be able to say what I have to say,
without
respectfully,
right?
With like respectfully, but also like, I'm not gonna let you walk all over me. Like, respectfully, thank you. I know you love my kit so much, but this is my equipment. Please don't
you can admire it, but don't touch anything.
Let me know what you need. I'll be glad if I have a moment when I'm finished with the service to grab stuff out of my kit and show you, so you can take
exactly.
pictures.
It's just the way how you do things.
Yeah.
Or so, ask me, like, what do you recommend for this or that? Like, I'm not that type of person who I don't tell people stuff. You know what I mean?
I don't gatekeep, because that's corny.
It really
2024.
It's cheesy. Especially when the client you being like that about, like, they don't even live in your city. So it's not even like you're like, if I tell her, she'll never book me again.
And at the end of the day, they're not you. They're never going to do it the way you do it. So does it even matter? No. It matters more to be a girl's girl and to try to uplift and help and educate other artists than it does for you to be the only one, or for you to be the best. Or that's just all ego, and you can keep that shit away from me.
Right. And that's your own insecurity, because if you felt like you were that girl or that artist, you wouldn't feel the need to be like, I have to keep all these secrets to myself, because otherwise there's no relevancy for me. It's a scarcity mindset. I hate a scarcity mindset type of girl.
Because it runs through every aspect of your life. You can't just feel like you're in a scarcity mindset just for your work.
No.
It runs through everything.
You always feel like, dang, like, it's not going to be enough. Like, I'm never going to, like, have enough for this, that, or the third. I'm like, girl, you're not going to go very far. And you're not going to drag me down with you, so.
The thing is that the second you allow your brain to act like that, that's the second that the universe shuts the fucking doors. Because you gotta believe in it first. Ain't nobody have to believe in your vision but you. It was your calling for a reason.
And you gotta be your main cheerleader. I said that. Was it you that I said that to the other day? That I was like, see, the thing with, like, when you have like you said, your purpose, your calling, your vision. You gotta believe so much in it, because in the beginning, nobody else will. And if you're fragile or on the fence about it, then the second that first person's like, I don't know, that sounds great, but it just sounds real risky. You're gonna be like, you're right, because it's confirming what you already think. You think it's not gonna work out, so them saying, I don't know, it just sounds like it might take forever for this or that. It's just like, you don't know what God has in store for you. If He called you to it, then there's a way that's already been made. The Bible says it, like, I will prepare a way for you, and your gifts will make room for you. Feel me? So if I'm supposed to be doing this, it's gonna
That's
happen.
what we're gonna do.
Right, and that's how I've learned, because I've been trying to. I'm on a spiritual journey as well, and I've learned that usually when you can tell that you're getting a lot of pushback and it's like so hard, like something's just like not happening, it's probably a sign that you're pushing that narrative. Like, it's not meant for you. Because if it was, it would just be happening. Yeah.
It's easy if you allow it to be.
Right.
You know, even when you're doing hard things, even when you're doing challenging things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I so agree. You create the dynamic in which you are, like, dealing with that new challenge, right? How you see it.
Just let things flow naturally, and this, that, and the third. Like, the people that you're supposed to meet to make these things happen for you easily, they'll just show up, and you'll actually be, like, surprised.
For me, like, a really big life-changing experience, to be honest with you. I was in a safe environment with my closest friends, but we did shrooms. This was, like, the very first time, like, ever. And it literally changed my life. Like, a lot of people would be like, oh my god, shrooms, or like, I've never done like LSD, so I don't know. But anyways, like, all the trippy stuff, they're like, well, like, you know the psychedelic shit, you know,
yeah, like,
the
if you've
stigma,
seen Sausage Party, you probably have an idea of what you think it's gonna be.
Yeah, no, literally. But there's, like, just the shit that, like, you think it would be like. For me, it was such an emotional roller coaster. I think I literally bawled my eyes out for like 4 hours.
Really?
Yeah, because I just started thinking about all the things in my life that had gone not the way that I had expected. And all the interactions I've had with people that I felt like I fucked up, or I did them wrong, or like I didn't show up. Like, you know,
the way you wanted to.
The way I wanted to. Like, it brings up all the shit that was sitting in there and like not coming out, and like that shit, if it's not unfolded and dealt with, it's gonna pile up like dirty laundry. That's how I would say. Like, you have to deal with whatever keeps coming up, you know, and that's what therapy's for. That's why therapy's great. But I remember I just sat there, man, and I walked out of that and I was like, I think I just had like a spiritual fucking awakening, because it's all of a sudden it's just like we just feel so like in a fishbowl. You just feel like everything's so close and so overwhelmed, and that just made me like zoom all the way fucking back and be like, we're on a floating rock. Like, we're in the middle of the universe, somehow alive. The world could literally burn in tomorrow. We don't know what's going to happen, but we have to enjoy every second. I don't know how long this body will last for me, how long I'll be able to make it. Things happen every day. People die every day. And that's why, as much as it sucks, we have to take advantage and honor our own lives as much as we can.
Right.
Like, that's what we're here for. To learn, to fail, to fuck up, to be happy, to be sad, to just be surrounded by awesome people, and to, like, have the moments that make you feel alive. That's
it's
what
an
we're here
experience, for sure.
But, like, it took me doing that to get to that conclusion.
Because I was saying this same thing, too. Like, it's almost similar with, like, going to therapy, right? Like, I am going to do this thing that's called, like, EDMR, where it's trauma therapy.
Oh, girl.
And it's intentionally...
My trauma therapist would be right on the money.
Girl,
I'd be like, oh, honey.
It's intentionally, like, dredging up stuff. And that's why I was saying, like, why a lot of people, I feel like, don't do therapy is because, I mean...
It's hard. It's work.
Right. Especially if you learn to cope with things. And we're all, I feel like, just in survival mode, like 90% of the time. And we don't even realize it, right? And we don't know why we do what we do, why the things that people say piss us off. We don't know our triggers. We don't know anything at all. And because of this, it's hard to navigate every single relationship.
Yeah.
Like, you meet people and you're like, dang, I just can't keep friends, or my relationships keep ending, or this, that, and the third. I'm like, right, because the first inconvenience... You do not know how to deal with it, because first of all, you don't even know why that's upsetting to you. You don't know what buttons that's pressing and all that stuff. So it's like the same thing, like the shrooms is like an unintentional way of doing that, where you really force yourself to like go into your thoughts and be like
face everything. Face your demons. Basically.
Like, yeah. But therapy is like very similar too.
Oh,
like
100%.
if people want like a more like...
healthy.
Not healthy, because I'm sure shrooms aren't unhealthy. You know what I mean? It's
but
natural, isn't it?
Drugs in moderation, everyone. It's not a good idea to use them to deal with your shit.
I wouldn't even call it drugs.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't either. They grow out of the ground.
Yeah, like I wouldn't, I really
It's a
wouldn't
holistic
classify it
way.
as that. Yeah, it's no different from like, I mean, if you went somewhere else where it's people's culture, like a lot of cultures do
Yep.
those things, and it's actually a spiritual practice.
Yep.
It's not at all anything like that. It's just,
Yep.
it just depends on where you at and how they choose to classify things. You know what I'm
True.
saying? So
True.
I'm not even gonna do that and be like, oh yeah, like if you're doing, no, not even. But whatever your choice is to be like, all right, this is what I want to do to like tap into. Just, you know, like how I'm glad you said you were in a safe environment. I feel like that's key.
Important.
You know,
Yeah.
who you're around, because it's a crazy experience. My therapist has even told me, she was like, yeah, when we have our first session, just make sure you don't like probably like have a ton of things on your schedule for the day or this, that, or the third, because like sometimes when you go down memory lane and then you're like, all right, well, that was a great therapy session, and then you leave thinking you're just about to go on with your day. You're not.
No, you're gonna sit there thinking.
Right, like all day it's gonna randomly pop back in your head like, wow, I
Mhm.
totally forgot about that, or damn, like that was crazy how that happened, or I can't believe they did that to me, or this, that, and third, because it's just a lot. So let's back it up, right?
Back it up.
So let's talk about two things, because
Yeah.
two things I definitely want to talk about while I'm here. One,
What's that?
I want to talk about your product line. So
Yeah.
the lashes.
Yes.
Why lashes?
Girl. So, it was throughout the COVID lockdown that I started really thinking about like wanting to develop something that like challenged me more. I just wanted more than makeup, and I always wanted to own a product line, but I didn't know exactly what it was that I wanted. I was looking into like brushes for months. Like I really wanted to do brushes. I really wanted to do tools, but I just kept getting pulled back from it for some reason. And
Really?
there was this girl in town who like did makeup and started her own lash line, and I just kept dogging on her so bad because I was like, why does she do this like this? Why does she do that like that? But why would she name it that? And I was just like coming for her neck all the
Triggered
time.
by it.
I was, and then that's one day I was like, if you can do fucking better, then do fucking better.
Right.
Gigi, like, stop fucking dogging on her. Like, she's trying to do her thing. For me personally, I feel like I had tried so many different types of lashes, and I was still uncomfortable. They were still breaking apart.
I was gonna say
still
that.
couldn't reuse them, and I was like, I'm
the lash
tired of
band
trying
on
to get them
it
to
is
fit.
thick.
So
they are thick.
So, Amavi Lashes bands are designed super freaking thin, but they're still really, like, durable and resistant, so that's why when you pull them off the
Flexible.
tray, they're not going to just break on you, and you
Yeah.
can actually reuse them up
I
to
love the
20,
name.
25
How did you come
times.
up with that name, Amavi?
Thank you. So, Amavi actually means loved in Italian. It's the past tense of love. So, amore is present, Amavi is past.
You
so
speak
it's loved.
Italian?
I was born in Italy, so this is like a paying kind of homage to my
To your birth.
roots,
It's
yeah.
a rebirth.
It
Girl,
is a rebirth.
I love that.
Thank you. And I actually named all my babies traditional Italian women's names.
Really?
Yeah, so my mom always called me Giulietta growing up. I think my name's Julia,
God.
but it's spelled Giulia the Italian way because I was born in Italy. So nobody ever knows how to pronounce
You're
Julia.
such a baddie.
No, stop. Nobody ever, I heard all, just mispronouncing my name over the years. So my mom always called me Gigi growing up. So Gigi stuck with me on set. I did a Hulu original show, like right out of finishing school. I assisted the hair and makeup department on this like zombie show for season 2 of Hulu. It was called Freakish. And Gigi just stuck on set, so I've been going with Gigi ever since, and it's just been...
I did not know how, like, I just know you as Gigi, too.
Yeah.
So this is also news to me.
No, it's Julia.
I love the way you said it!
Yeah, every single time, my husband's from Ohio, so all of his family calls me Julia, because that's
it's
how
so fun,
how white people say Julia. And I'm like, there's no Y in my name, it's Julia. Julia Nazaria. Yeah, it's not fucking Julia.
Look at you over there smiling like a mug too. Like, girl, that,
Like it's a no.
I bet when you met your hubby, you were just like, that was the moment he knew. He was like, yeah, this is
He
my
thought
wife.
his family thought he was being catfish. We met on Bumble, actually.
Really?
And when we met for the
They
first
thought he was
time,
being cat.
they did. So okay,
They said
so
she looked too good anyway.
no, true. They were like, "This is a fake profile. There's a 40-year-old man behind this talking to you, Evan. There's no way."
And sending your news to
No,
a grown man.
right. So, yeah, funny enough, he like, he was like, I'm gonna go surprise my little sister. She's graduating from high school. I'm gonna be there for a week, and then I get back for a few days, and I have to go out on a detachment for like a month in California.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, I just want to like meet you before I'm gone and everything.
Just
And
wanted
we
to
had
make
been-
sure.
Yeah, right. And me talking to like 10 other guys, I was like, yeah, I guess I don't want to waste my time, right? Like if they say a thing or
Right.
whatever. So I was like, fine, you can come over, we'll Netflix and chill, we'll watch a movie, we'll get snacks, and like, we'd been
You have to know.
FaceTiming, we would FaceTime for like hours at a time or whatever, and he was living at the barracks at the time, like 20 minutes away at the base in Jersey. And we met for the first time. I like was so nervous. I was like putting like tissues under my arms. I was like so sweaty and like anxious and everything. And he like pulls up and he like walks out, and I like lock the door and turn around, and we like walk up to each other, and I'm just like
What do you think?
it was love at first sight. Like I don't know what it was, but I was like, why are you so tall? Why is your voice so deep? Like I didn't expect you to have like this
The
like
whole vibe
energy like in person, So it was like an energetic, just like puzzle
Greeting.
piece moment. I think for us, like it's corny, but we did. It was love at first sight for both of us.
It's not corny. When I tell people we got married in 6 months, they're like,
girl, and us in a year. Like
mm-hmm.
it's like, well,
When you know, you know.
what is
The
the odds?
universe will bring you together when you need to be
Dude.
together, because
Coincidence ain't real. Like it's.
I don't believe in no coincidence.
I don't either. It's such a real
Mm-hmm.
thing. Everything's placed in your life exactly as it should
Mhm.
be.
Yeah, I don't question things anymore. I just be like, okay, I just
Alright.
need to understand what was the purpose of why this happened, because it's for a reason. Let's
Yeah.
just not go ahead and waste this reason.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it's all in alignment, right?
Mm-hmm. And it
Yeah.
sucks when you miss it. You know what I mean? Like, imagine that, like, something strategically placed in your life for your betterment, and you just completely miss it because you just believe things be happening. You just be
Yeah.
walking around the world like ditzy, just like da 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 da.
Like not really.
Like paying
Focusing,
attention to
yeah.
the signs or anything.
Mm-mm.
You just keep missing it. You whole time you have a big ass purpose attached to your life, and you just never
Dude,
reach your goals. I feel like that should be
legal.
fear enough for people to stop sleeping on themselves.
Dude,
Because I'm like, you could be sleeping on something real crazy. Like, imagine if you're just like you're supposed to be the next Bill Gates. If somebody told you
Dude.
that, you'd be doing everything to try to figure out how to
Right.
make it happen. But because people don't know, and
Yeah.
that fear of the unknown,
Oh man.
be having people really just not even wanting to take the first step or just
For
like
real.
think deeper about things.
It's always a combination of things, right? It's like
Mhm.
self-doubt, and then it's like situational stuff and all the
Mhm.
things. Like I could give myself a million reasons why I shouldn't start a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But it scares me, but I think if it inspires just one person, then it'll be worth it to me.
Right.
Because I have so much to share, and I'm so tired of like being afraid to share and be like open with people on social media.
Plus,
You know?
also, let's talk about people's measure of success.
Oof.
Because
Success is different to everyone.
that's what I'm saying. Like, your purpose really could be to reach this person in particular. And you're so hung up on the fact that, well, only 10 people watch it or this or that. I guess that speaks just for me. Because I did earlier say that I always stopped doing YouTube because I felt like nobody was watching.
Right.
But maybe the people who are watching are getting something out of it. And I'm supposed to keep going for them. You know what I mean? Like, we compare ourselves to the people that we feel like are doing so much better than us.
Mhm.
We're just like, oh, I guess I'm not doing that good if I'm not, like, doing those
I'm
numbers.
not getting
or if
flown
I'm
out
not,
to Bali.
right? Like, damn, this makeup artist is in Dubai. Like,
But I'm just like, with that level of success comes with different challenges, and they
Mhm.
deal with a different level of stress as well. And
mm-hmm.
I think a lot to my, when I first started, I'd be like, if I got a call tomorrow and they asked me to do the cover of Vogue, would I feel prepared and ready
Right.
to
drop everything and go.
to drop everything and go, and to like actually show up as the kind of service provider and makeup artist that I
Mhm.
want to be. And the
Mhm.
truth is, I kept saying, no, I'm not ready. I have so much more to learn.
Mhm.
And when I get there, I know I'm going to get there, and I'm going to feel like I deserve my place.
Mhm.
I don't want to feel like it was just handed to me.
Right.
I worked for me to get here. You know what I mean? Going back to all the free work and trade
Or-
print jobs,
Mhm.
too,
Or being like, you get there and then you're just like doing such a poor job that they wouldn't hire you. Like, they
Yeah.
regret
Yeah.
that they, they went with you. They'd be like,
Right.
dang, we should have went with that other girl, or
Right.
you know, like I feel like that would be embarrassing.
Which is such a scary thought, but when you think about it, like, I mean, I'm very well rehearsed in set life. Like, that is all I did for years in the city. Like, and thanks to some really amazing agency represented makeup artists that took me under their wing, I got to do stuff with, like, Essence Magazine, In Style. I did Calvin Klein collabs, V Magazine. I got to meet Victoria's Secret angels and work with them. Like, all these different things.
How do you feel living out here then? Because I feel like, see, that's why I moved to New York after, like, we met and everything. I moved to New York, same deal. I was like, we've been talking so much. I just have to know if we're doing something for real before I go to the city.
Right.
And I'm like holding myself down, and the whole time we're not even finna be in a relationship, so I ain't to know. So I stopped.
What's the game plan?
Man, I stopped in Hilton Head before I went to New York to live out my city girl dreams. I was like, let me just make sure I'm booed up because the city ain't so strong. But then I came, and then I was like, all right, I guess it's a thing, you know, for real.
God. Isn't that
and
funny?
It's
though?
crazy. And I
How
convinced
shit
him to
like
quit
that
his job and move to New York. I was like, I just think
Whoa.
we have to be in the same place. We have to be together. So you have to come.
happens. So how did y'all end up back here then?
Well, he has a twin sister here, and he grew up here. So he has
So y'all
family here.
were in the city, but then y'all
were.
moved.
And
area.
that's what I was gonna say. I feel like you lived the level of success that I thought I was gonna have when I went there.
Girl.
And that's why it's like, what's meant for you will be for you. You know what I mean? Because I think the timing just wasn't great when I moved there. For one, I didn't have the money. I don't know what the hell I was
my
thinking
God.
I was gonna go there and start something. I think you gotta already have something kind of established.
Girl.
People gotta know you or something like.
It's
It was-
wild out there, man. Like,
Yeah.
it's a whole different lifestyle. Period.
It
like,
really
it's
is.
just hustle culture. That's it.
Period. And if you don't know people or you not already kind of popping, like there's just so many people here that's already like doing the work that they don't really have to give you a shot. Like nobody's gonna take a bet on you getting started when there's like 50,000 artists who came here that want to be the next big thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not gonna happen. So I think that's what it was. Like, it just really was crazy, and I wasn't able to really invest in my artistry and start building my kit until I moved out of New York.
I agree.
I was always there, so broke living there. I was
Oh,
like, Jesus Christ,
agreed.
I'm like a starving artist constantly.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think honestly, like in retrospect, had I been single, I think I'd probably be living in New York right now. But me pivoting and like having a family now totally changed everything.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think the level of happiness that I thought I was going to have in the city just doesn't compare to family life
Right.
now.
It's like two different ends of the spectrum.
Totally.
Because even listening to you talk about like the Vogue thing or the artists who get flown out, right? I think about that a lot too.
Yeah.
You know, when I
like
follow
they're
these-
living the dream, right?
but
Traveling the world, making money. Like what could,
at the
what
same
could
time,
be so
when I look
bad?
at it, I'm like, what's common with all these artists is they're single people usually.
Usually, yeah.
They're usually just focused on their
Or married,
artistry,
and that's it.
and they follow these people around. Like I follow Raquel, and I was even thinking about that. Imagine being the makeup artist for the Renaissance tour. That's how long was that tour? That's a long tour to be away from your family for a different show every single day. You know what I mean?
And
So
funny enough, that's nudged somewhere in my list of goals at some point.
that you're gonna work with
I
Beyonce.
know, dude, I want to work with Dua Lipa. I would love Dua Lipa's
Ooh.
music. She's my like hype jams, and so
I'm
I
a
feel like
Demi
that'd
fan.
be really that'd be fun. I have seen Demi live.
Me too. I saw her in New York. He actually
Did you
bought
really?
me tickets to go, and he didn't have enough money, so he just bought me tickets. And he rode the
Really?
train with me, and then
Dropped
I
you off.
gave him my purse to hold until I was
Oh.
done, and then he came back.
Oh, that is the sweetest
And
thing.
it was so funny because like I walked out of that concert. I swear I was cheesing so hard, and I know it. I was walking out like he was like, "How was it?" It was like it was so great. Like
Oh my goodness, should have
It was
sneaked him
so-
in.
I wish I knew how, but I was
Girl.
not about to get kicked out.
Where
of
was
my
it,
damn concert
MSG?
for him. No, Barclays.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Damn.
yeah, I was like, I don't know if he was a Demi fan though, but I was like, there's no way you
don't
could
matter.
not like being in here because
Mine's
Spencer
a
was
vibe.
so good.
It's a vibe,
She was so good. I was in there like
dude.
crying for real. I was like, damn, I'm one of those concert weirdos that cry for
That was
celebrities.
I've seen Ariana Grande 3 times.
Really? You're
Ariana.
Ariana
And
stan?
she's releasing a new album next month called External Sunshine.
External Sunshine? That's crazy.
I know.
I love your skin is looking so chef's kiss right now.
I
Like
love.
I'm living for it.
I'm
So
excited.
you said so much when you talked about your product line. Like,
Yeah. And I'm still
as
probably
a
forgetting
person
things.
who has never like created anything per se, but that definitely, you know, I feel like everybody, not everybody, but I mean a lot of people when you step into entrepreneurship is to like leave a legacy behind and have something tangible, something that you can have that residual income or whatever, right? I feel like for a person like me, if I was to get up tomorrow and be like, okay, I want to do a product line or I want to do this, like even hearing you being like, oh yeah, and then I got a copywriter or this or that. How did you know the steps that you had to take? Like, okay, like this is what I need to do in order to get this done.
So those 2 years that I just spent kind of like developing the brand and the business and all the things, I was also spending a lot of time doing personal growth things, like reading books about business. Like literally, I have a notebook full of notes. I was literally reading articles every day, YouTubing, and buying books and reading them, and like.
Did you know you wanted to start your business, or that just subliminally happened? Like you were reading those, and then you just happened to afterwards be like, "Damn, I do want to start my own thing."
I think for me, it was I had been looking into it, and I was a little bit at the beginning of the process, kind of like reading this book. I think it was called like How to Be a Solopreneur.
Okay.
Something like that. That's what the book was, and that kind of had me thinking about different streams of income and having different like systems in place to support you. It doesn't just have to be one thing. That's when I kind of realized I don't just have to be a makeup artist. I can be a content creator, and I can, if I want to focus on beauty photography, I could explore that. It kind of goes hand in hand with what I do. So that's kind of when I started looking into more than just
like,
you know what I thought
typical artist.
Like I had boxed myself in my head, and I thought I'm just going to be a makeup artist for the rest of my life. I went to makeup designery, I did my master program, and that's it. Never going to go to school again. I'm done. Which is totally not the case, right? Now I'm like, what networking events can I go to? What classes? What courses can I take? What like, you know, additional education can I do to help? Because if I can learn on someone else's skin, I'm gonna. That's what smart people do. I don't wait to get burned. I let someone else get burned and then I learn from it. Because that's what smart people do. You take what you can and you read as much as you can and you fucking ingest all the information, and then you take it and you run with your perspective and your level of experience and whatever the hell you're doing or your niche is. So for me, I think filing my LLC paperwork. Wait, what am I doing? Oh, sorry, Bella. Filing my LLC was like the beginning of that. I think after I filed it, it was like go time. Like
what?
I wanted to start right, and I wanted to do something that forced me to stay committed, because I have a problem with staying consistent with things. I like to start things, and then once I'm like, okay, I know how to edit, I don't need to do YouTube anymore. I learned what I wanted to learn from this, and I can always come back to it, but I'm not going to keep doing it. I'm a Gemini. I like to float.
Oh, girl, that's all you had to say.
So, anyways, I was like, okay, I filed my LLC paperwork. I invested all this money into it. I cannot back down now. I cannot step away from it, because there's things invested at this point. Sorry. You know, so for me, that was like me trying to hold myself accountable for it, because I was like, if I want to get rid of this business, I will have to literally pay to file paperwork to let the state know that I'm no longer in business. So until I have tried everything under the fucking sun for me to get to that point, we move forward with this business, you know. And I was like, and if it fails, I told myself I'll just start from experience next time, but I won't start from nothing. So it's just a learning process, and I poured into this as much as I could. But yes, I did a lot of research and a lot of like personal stuff. I heard a lot of TED Talks. I read a lot of business books, because I was like, I don't know anything about this.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? And like, how can I do it and do it right? And then I was like looking into all these other successful brands and looking into, you know, how they're doing things and what their tech stacks are and like how their websites run and all the things, you know. Because every business is totally different. And that's why the blocks, like going to
And you built your own website, right?
Oh, yeah. I've always built my own websites, which is always a headache. But I get better every time. So, me going to Kansas City was such a big experience, because it was, first of all, I was postpartum as hell. So it was so hard being away from my kids. And it was the first time excuse me,
Mm-hmm.
I was away from the kids, like,
How old
Ever.
were they at the time?
my son was like 3 months old.
Oh, damn.
And my daughter was like a year old, so it was like hard being able, like I was super homesick the whole time.
But you just felt
But-
like you had to do
But
it.
I was like, I can't pass up this opportunity, and I just feel like I'm meant to be there because I went through the whole casting process. I literally, this like the whole thing popped up as a sponsored post on Instagram, and I was like, haha, fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
Submitted my stuff, and then I got a call back, and then I got on a phone call, and then I got on another interview.
Like, holy shit, is
And
this
I was
really
like,
happening?
yeah, literally 4 casting like calls and steps later, the producer's like, well, we want to officially invite you to be a part of season 8. And I was like, I'm gonna shit my pants. I was like, are you serious? Like, I just submitted for shits and giggles thinking nothing of it. But then I met so many amazing people, and like the whole premise of the show, if you don't know,
Mm-hmm.
there's a panel of judges that have all made a frick ton of money in their own personal businesses. So they've gone through the startup process, and the whole thing is a startup incubator. It's like
Mhm.
half school, half pitch wars. It's a competition. You're getting graded, you know, and you basically have to. It was me with like 75, 80 other business owners that came, and some were like pre-launch, some were hitting $1 million in their business, other people were in the middle, and we're in all different fields of business.
Mm-hmm.
Some are in like home building, some are in the tech space, you know, creating apps,
Mm-hmm.
you know, makeup artists, whatever. So super interesting getting to sit down with everybody and talk about like
What do you do?
Why are you an entrepreneur?
Mm-hmm.
What fuels you? What do you
Mhm.
want to fucking succeed for? Where do you see your business going?
Mm-hmm.
That connection and networking period with other people doing what you're doing
Mm-hmm.
is literally the key.
Mm-hmm.
It's key because that's the most valuable thing that I got from it.
No, like, okay, so first of all,
But yeah, no, that was a headache anyway.
that whole process you even talked to me about, I think, if first of all, it's so commendable. Like, so many people really, you know, like, we start our businesses and we hope to have at least some level of success with it. And what I will say is, because I did watch, like, when you posted, like, your, I think it was one of your pitches, and just watching you
my little behind the
speak,
scenes.
I was like, wow, like,
Mess.
that's bold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's bold
It's scary.
because I don't know, just being able to first of all like be so convicted and sure about what you're doing that you can speak about it.
Girl, I can
That's
speak about
one
it for like
thing.
this first like 6, 7, like the first year after launch. I was just like so like shy to share it with anybody because I was like, what do they think, you know? And then I was
Mhm.
like, I don't give a fuck what they think. I have
Right.
to educate people,
Right, like
But
tell
what
them
the
what
fuck
it
we
is and
talking
they either
about?
want it or they don't, and that's fine.
and that's fine.
And learn
But
not
that
to be
doesn't mean my
heartbroken about
mission
them.
stops. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, I think I was meant to be there and meet that season of people because there was one lady there that has alopecia. And
Mhm.
she's literally like, Gigi, like, I can't leave the house without wearing my lashes and my wigs. Like, she's like, this is a life thing. You know what I mean? She's like, I
Mhm.
wear this every day. She's like, I'm buying your lashes ASAP. And so she did. And she literally still commends the lash line and orders lashes. And I'm like, dude, you don't know what that means to me. And she's
Mhm.
like, there's such a big market for this. You don't even understand. And for me, it was like, literally no shit, the heavens opened up. And I was like, this is
People
what I
need
meant
this.
to do.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want it to just make you look good. This is about health and beauty balance for me. That I literally, like, my mission right now is to, I don't even know how exactly I want to, but I want to partner up with, like, an alopecia foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to start, like,
You need to
having
talk
more
to some
health and beauty.
trichologist.
Dude, I don't even know what the hell I'm about to do, but we're going to
Yeah.
figure it out because I'm like, for me, it's about, like, I want to empower women. And I want, like, so Beaufort Lifestyle Magazine just did
Mhm.
my photo shoot because they want me to be Businesswoman of the Month next month.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
God, I love having like
Girl.
boss baby friends. This is crazy.
Girl, I'm still in, like, imposter mode. Like, are they sure?
Like, are you
is
for
this-
real?
Like, why? But,
'Cause you're that girl.
Girl, I'm trying to be that girl.
You
I owe
are.
it to younger Gigi to be that girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, I just got the article back from the editor,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, man, what's the title gonna be? Like, what? Like, for me, it was
What
like,
are they gonna say?
what are they gonna say? Like, this is nerve-wracking. And I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's a whole lot and that's going to take forever. However, I am going to read you the title because I literally was like, there couldn't have been a more perfect title.
When it comes out, I'm going to read it then. I'm gonna call you like, girl.
It literally says, my name says Julie Nazare Hamilton, boldly and courageously empowering other women.
Oh, I love that.
And I was like, and I've been saying this. I'm like, man, we need more bold and courageous women in the world. And if it takes some fucking makeup and it takes some fucking lashes to make you feel like you can be bold and step out and achieve your goals and do something that scares the shit even out of you, then that's what the world needs to do. Then we need to put on our fucking makeup, get our big girl pants on, and keep it trucking.
And I think it's
crazy
shit to do. Because people like really downplay makeup and just make it seem like, oh, like either you're just so superficial if you need this or that. But I don't think people understand how much makeup does for people. Like me personally, I feel like I definitely, when I have like that full circle moment, it's gonna be when I figure out how to tie in some type of like mental health thing with my branding. Because me, how I got started in makeup, I was going through something. You know what I mean? I was going through something and I just started just binge watching YouTube videos because it's just anything to keep my mind off of everything.
Michelle Fan used to literally was like my first YouTube love. Her creating her looks and doing her little like poses at the end.
I used
with
to watch
her
all the like
oh my god,
OG people. Like I used to watch all the Patrick Stars. When James Charles just came out and I heard his age, I was like, he's younger than me.
No,
even that, I was like, damn, that's crazy.
They're making so much money.
Man,
they're like 15.
Jacqueline, Jackie Aina, like all of these people. Like I was watching the Bretman Rock, like all of them.
I was never big on YouTubers.
Really?
Just Michelle Fan when I was younger, and that was it. I fell out of YouTube.
I was like hooked on YouTube. I think that's also why I started my channel, because I big chopped my hair and everything. I was really going through something. So I big chopped my hair and I was like, I'm going on a hair journey.
Yes.
So then I started binge watching hair videos. And then it just tied into makeup stuff. And then every time I had a little bit of money, I was like walking to the corner store in New York and I was like just buying products. Like, and I was just like recording, like I tried all the household supplies for your hair. You know, when everybody was on the, oh, you don't need shampoo, use this, use that.
This and this.
I did so much of that, but during that time, like I don't even think I was being honest with myself that I was depressed. I just know like this is working and we're gonna keep doing this. I was obsessed with makeup. And I would do my face like 4 times in one day, like just over and over and over. I just was doing my face. And when I look back at the pictures that I did, like face looked like shit. But when I remember the frame of mind and the time place that I was in, I'm like, this did so much for me. And I know
nobody can tell me shit when I'm.
You get what I'm saying? And like,
because I'm that girl.
If you tell
now I
certain
believe
people,
myself that I'm that girl, right?
Sometimes you gotta fake it till you make it. Like literally until you know that happens. And I mean, I definitely feel like I went through that phase, and like when I meet other people that like say that to me, I feel like because I went through it, I definitely can sympathize. I understand. Like if you feel like you need to get up and beat your face before you step outside, you go ahead and you do that. Don't let nobody tell you nothing or that you're superficial or this, that, and the third, because I know that it helps. You know what I mean? So I want to be able to definitely like market myself in that way where people know that there's a purpose behind why I do what I do. It's not just, I like seeing people look pretty or this or that. If that's your reason for doing makeup, that's cool too.
Dude,
but I think it's a bigger purpose.
Yeah, no, I think almost all makeup artists, like, we all kind of explore makeup because we see how it makes us feel, right? And then we start, you know, falling into, like, client makeup and, like, seeing how other people feel empowered. Like, that's the most rewarding thing. Because, like, people's energy change. You can sit in my chair when we first start, you're like,
cry and stuff.
No, like, literally. And then by the end, they're like, this is the best. This is the best. This is my wedding makeup. Like, this is the best thing I've ever seen.
To me, it's nothing more heartbreaking than when I have a client that I can tell they have such major, like, confidence issues. It makes me want to give them a hug. You know what I mean? Do come first with good skin.
Period.
You can't show up and then tell me, like you said, make me 20 years younger, or
like super
just get rid of all
brows.
these fine lines. I'm like, get rid of fine lines.
Honey.
Who do you think I am? Like, appreciate it, but I cannot do that. Like, no way, I can't. I would love to, but I
That's
can't.
why I always have to cackle and be like, ha ha ha, we're gonna try, but I can't make any promises. I'm not a miracle worker.
Or, like, my
45 minutes, you want me to fucking get rid of your fucking 30 years of sun damage on your face and your chest?
MVP. And the price that you're gonna pay. You think I charge you this price to get rid of your mirror?
Girl.
It's gonna make you look 20 years younger for like just a few $100. There's no way.
It's
if
wild.
that was the case, like these injectionists and stuff would be out of business. They'd just be hiring makeup artists.
Right.
If we could do that, like I really can't.
Dude. But the thing is that it's the lack of etiquette. People just don't know that saying shit like that is kind of annoying.
Mm-hmm. And
people don't read prep guides. Even if you have a prep guide, they don't fucking read prep guides.
Mm-hmm.
Like, first of all, if I'm scheduled for the first bridesmaid from 9 to 9:45 and you show up at 9:20, Miss Man, well, we only have 25 minutes. You're not getting a smoky eye. You fucked yourself. Like, the best I can do is natural glam. And that's all you get. Because you didn't show up enough to respect my time.
Mm-hmm.
What makes you think I'm going to go over everyone else's timeline and make me stay an extra 30 minutes just because you didn't want to show up on time? Like, I have kids at home.
Honestly,
I could be doing other important things.
My favorite is one time I had a bridal party that actually just completely disregarded the timeline. Like, I showed up and the house was pitch black. And first of all, like, I drove from South Carolina. This was in, like, Georgia. So I'm like, I drove a hot minute. I had to leave my house very early to be here on time. And you thought enough of your time that you're just going to be sleeping still.
What happened?
She showed up at the door and I was like, hey, like, I'm your makeup artist. Like, your schedule says you're supposed to be starting like probably like 15 or so minutes. Like, can I come set up? She wouldn't even let us in. She said no. Basically, she just told all her bridesmaids and stuff that they can come at 9 instead. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? Like, it was literally
so it looks like only 2 bridesmaids are going to be done today because I only have 9 to 11 scheduled.
It was such a first for me. I was like, wait,
was this
what?
your personal booking? Or
of course not. I'm telling you, this shit always happens to me for other people. Because I'm like, yo, where do y'all find these brides? Like, do y'all just be so excited for every single booking that y'all just let them slip through the cracks? Because I feel like, I don't know how it's insane that I've never had this experience with myself.
I actually totally agree with you. I've never had someone personally book with me that's found me through my website or whatever it is that gave me like a hard time.
Bad
just like I get hard
energy
times on like bridal parties.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
It's really, really annoying.
It really is. And I was there and I was like, whoa. So she was like, we started telling her because I was like, I mean, I understand. Because she was like, yeah, we had a rehearsal dinner pretty late and I just felt bad telling my girls to be here at X time. Like, I'd rather them get sleep.
Oh.
And I'm like, you
didn't bother to communicate that?
Man, I was like, I'd rather have had a little more sleep too. I would have slept a little bit extra. Like, shit, you're giving out extra sleep. I'll take some. Like,
yeah, right. Can I take a nap on your sofa?
Like, I drove here. You're gonna tell me to go sit in my car for an hour and a half or 2 hours because you told your bridesmaids to get more sleep. Like, I was so like,
dude. So what ended up happening?
Well, I ended up staying there forever. But I told that team girl, like, straight up, I was like, yeah, I'm usually pretty lenient, but you're gonna pay 2 extra hours as if I did 2 extra people.
Yeah.
And she was a little bit annoyed, but I was like, I mean, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to either do 2 less people and tell them that, hey, I have to leave at this time, or are you gonna pay me for the extra time to stay? Because I'm not. Like, today was just a blatant disrespect. It's one thing when I'm working and I'm taking a little bit longer and we're not done in time. But if you just straight up look at me in my eye at your door and tell me, I'm sorry, I just rather my girls get sleep, and then you still expect me to get everybody done, like, that's disrespectful. Like, that's so disrespectful.
Like, that is the perfect case scenario.
It was crazy.
Where I would literally walk off.
I was so pissed.
Because if you call someone that owns a team and be like, what do you want me to do in this situation? Like, if I'm 3 hours, if I drove in from an hour 45-minute drive, You want me to sit there for another hour and a half? Like, what?
Outside. What if I fall asleep in my car and I don't wake up?
Yeah, like, what? What? Like, that's just wild to me. I think that's the only way that could have gone well. But, like, I would have been like, you're going to have to pay hefty fees for this extra time that you basically just wasted. What if I had an appointment after this wedding? That,
too. I was like, yeah, it's just very inconsiderate. Like, I really cannot fathom that I'm even having this conversation with you right now because the nerve that you even thought it was cool.
Dude, that's wild.
Yeah, it's really wild. And then it's like if you don't put your foot down, these people you're working for really do expect you to just put up with the craziest shit too.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm like, bro, if I didn't say that you gonna pay me extra for this, you didn't think that you was gonna pay me extra for this,
dude. And on top of which, like,
what you was gonna tell me? I like, thank you so much, I appreciate you, like,
dude. I know I'm like new to the bridal industry. Like, I didn't do too much bridal before coming here because I just truthfully didn't want to deal with bridezillas. Like, it was just too much chaos for me. But now being a part of it more, I mean, I've learned so much more than I ever thought I would. So I'm so grateful. But at the same time, like, for the amount of shit you deal with and all the travel and the back and forth and the chaos, we don't get paid enough for this.
Really don't. I just told Beyonce, I was like, honestly, I think I really prefer like production work.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer, like, my favorite days are my photo shoot days, like, because it's home, like, just makes sense.
Yeah.
I just love to do that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's I can like actually offer the luxury experience that I want to offer.
You'll have more time.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, I'm gonna take my time because Fashion Week ruined me. Like, it was like quantity over quality for so long. Fashion Week, you're like, you gotta go. You just gotta literally slap it on and keep it moving.
Just put on one liner.
Literally, like, literally just slap it on, smudge it, and like try to make it not look shiny and do what you gotta do. There's a lot.
Make it look good enough from a distance, at least, because they're like, well, they're gonna be on stage. Nobody's gonna see that.
And it doesn't have to last all night. It's just gotta look good for the pictures. So coming from that mentality to here, where it's all about quality, and then working with real people and not models that are paid to take care of their skin. That's the part. Working with real people was a learning curve for me.
I think that's why I like production work more too, because they do show up with that skin as if their career depends on them having good skin.
Right. I don't get no, you know.
Oh yeah, I don't do much or this or that, and it's just like, oh.
Yeah, that part.
And I send out skincare guides to my brides too. I say, hey, share this with your bridal party. You know, it's crazy when people come here and say they don't exfoliate. I'm like, all right, well, just let them know this is a custom. Like,
I ain't plucking no fucking eyebrows. Get that shit done before we meet. Don't be sitting in my chair with leftover mascara. Oh, sorry, you forgot I had that. Oh, you didn't know for the last 6 months that you were scheduled for this 9 a.m. fucking time slot for your makeup? Fucking pull it together.
You know what's crazy though? I used to do all of that in the beginning, just be extra as hell. Like, I guess just let people walk all over me, because I really used to come and fully groom people's brows.
No, me too. I would feel bad if I didn't, but now I'm at a point where I'm like,
if you were okay with looking like this, then fine.
No, like, it's your face, not my problem.
I guess you wanted this hair to be
I'm here to make you look good. I'm gonna take my pictures and I'm gonna keep it trucking. Like, I can't be.
Gosh.
Can't be sitting here worried about your ungroomed eyebrows. You had plenty of time to fix that.
And I guess just learning too, because I think in the beginning I used to take pictures of everybody. But like learning that, they're not all going to be those photo op moments to post.
Oh, 100%. But I still take pictures of everyone because I don't want to make them feel bad. I do. I'll just take one picture. But the people that I know I really like or I want to post or I have a good vibe, whatever it is, like I'll do a whole fucking photo op with them. You know it.
Be like, one more time, can you just like look over your shoulder?
Can you just like flip your hair real quick?
Oh my gosh.
Girl.
So let's talk about, because we touched on it several times during talking. Working with so many people, because that's one thing you and I have in common. We keep ourselves busy working with
sure do.
With everybody. And them, everybody. We work with everybody. Like, we are booked and busy with just being everywhere. How do you feel that's going? And how do you like it?
So I think the thing is that whether you're a business owner or not, working with people and having people skills is going to be with
Set
you
you apart.
in life no matter
Mhm.
what. But yes, it will set you apart because the way you handle a situation might not be the way another person will handle a situation.
For sure.
So at the end of the day, you know, you just got to try to put your best foot forward, I think. And honestly, going off of what we were talking about earlier with like sometimes you just know your vibes aren't right from the beginning, that's okay too. I think instead of learning the hard way and like not listening to your intuition and going through something major or like dramatic could be all avoided if you just at the beginning you're like, do I see myself growing? What can I take away from this? And like, you know, if this is good for me, then I'm going to deal with it, even if it might not be where I want to be yet. It could be just a stepping stone, and that's fine, you know. But I think, you know, having someone that you can work with is essential, you know, because there's days where I'm like on my photo shoot days where, you know, there's someone that sits in my chair and I'm like, wow, you have great features. I want to take a little extra time to make sure you're looking fabulous today because I want to get some great content out of this. That means that now I'm doing hair and makeup and I'm just taking a little bit longer to do both because I'm doing both services. That's cutting into my photographer's time sometimes. And I always apologize because I'm like, I'm so sorry, you know. And he might agree, right? He might be like, yeah, Gigi, you got to try to keep it, you know, under a certain amount of time. But she looks fabulous. So it's about, like, finding the people that, like, can also respect what you're doing. And that's what it comes down to. You know?
Yeah, because sometimes they really don't see it from, like, an artist standpoint. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, this is my work. And when she's done, I would like to take a picture and post it. But if I don't even feel like she looks good, it makes me feel bad.
Yeah.
Just like, well, I'm not posting this on my feed, you know what I mean? And then it feels like you wasted your time. Like, even though, all right, yeah, I got paid, but I mean, at the same time, it is about my portfolio.
Right.
And knowing that I did a good job. Like, I hate that feeling driving home, feeling like, damn, I'm glad she liked it, but I did not like that at all.
No, I agree. I mean, as far as hair goes, I did a hair studio styling class in school, but I never really focused on hairstyling up until like the last like year or two, where like again I do not offer bridal hairstyling because bridal is enough chaos. I will only focus on makeup.
I saw you put you sent that in a message. You said, I'm only doing hair this makeup this year. I'm like, good for you, girl.
And that was the thing, like I'll do, if it's at my studio, I'll do it. If it's for like ball, I'll do it. You know what I mean? Good challenge, good way to refresh my skills, right? And I'm getting better every time. But when it comes to like me getting contracted out for weddings, I will not be carrying my hair and my makeup kit to a location. Because that's a hard pass for me. You know, I was doing it at first because I was like, wow, you know, like something to break up the day, and it's like I can still make my money, but it doesn't have to be all makeup. But the truth is that I just wasn't fully satisfied with the service that I was providing my clients because I was like, for this
it's not what you
money,
specialize in.
Yeah, it's not, and I feel like there could be someone that could be giving you better, and that's my thing. I'm only charging what I'm charging because I know the value that I provide, and I'm not going to take your money if I feel like I can't provide that exceptional level of service that you deserve because it's all about my clients. You know what I mean? So, you know, I had to step away from that. I was like, this year it's only going to be makeup. And has that gypped me out of many jobs? Yes.
I'm sure.
Because that team owner right away was like, well, if you're not doing hair for this, then I'm going to have to take you off. That's fine. It's an alignment for me.
Right.
Like, I'm not planning on being a bridal hairstylist, and I don't just want to just do a service just for the money. It's about my portfolio. It's about what I'm growing into.
See, and that's one of the things I will say about working with a team is that they're not at all concerned about your future, like where you see yourself.
Yeah.
Or
they
like
just want to be able to take their percentage of money and keep it moving. As long as their clients are happy,
they want you to be
and the
aligned.
artists are going to continue to do the job so they don't have to, they're happy with that. And I get it. I get it. It takes a village. It takes a team. But at the same time, like, that's why it's so important to support your team. And to have the right policies and procedures in place because we get really iffy clients sometimes. And when you're putting your artist in the position to represent you and provide the service, but they're dealing with a lot of fucking bullshit on the front end, and you're just like, hands off, I don't care.
Or you're gonna fire me when that client complains, even though you could definitely from the beginning just be like, I'm gonna like care about like putting my best foot forward and just being like making sure that everybody who's doing this or that one is properly trained and this, that, and the third. Because I've definitely seen too, like on a lot of teams that I work on, some of the artists that they have or this or that like don't follow proper procedure or this or the third, you know, but they just want to know that they have enough artists on the team to book as many weddings as possible.
Right.
Well, that's cool and all, but I mean,
it's such a give and take, you know.
It's crazy.
There's a lot that goes into like being a part of a team.
I'm so excited to use these lashes because it's lash time.
I know.
And it's got an eyelash right here.
Yeah, and that's why it's important to find someone that you work with well, right? Because someone that's going to lead you is going to lift you up and educate you and teach you, and not hinder you, make you feel like shit, or make you feel small. You don't need to be belittled to learn. It's about finding and aligning with the right people that are willing to like show you the way.
And I mean,
Hey, you don't do this. I understand you're excited. But next time, let's try to, like, focus on the job. You know what I mean? Like,
I also feel like working with the right person will provide you opportunities. I feel like a good job, you should be able to grow as well. You know what I mean? You're providing something, but you should be getting something as well. I feel like if it's definitely just one-sided, then you probably should know from the get-go, this is not something long-term. It maybe is a stepping stone, or maybe I really like this artist's work, and I want to learn maybe a thing or two from him, like shadowing them or this or that, but definitely need to have an exit plan in place because, you know, usually people like that too who don't care about your growth, when they do see that you are growing, you just start trying to cut ties with you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know if this is working out, or maybe you want to focus on this or that, and you're like, damn, why? Because I'm trying to do something for myself.
No,
All right.
I hear you. I hear you, Mama. It's rough out here, dude.
It so is. Now,
It's
I mean, is there like an end game? Oh, well, obviously, I don't think most of us that work with a bunch of teams feel like it's something we want to do all the time. Like for me, I feel like probably next year is the last year I'm doing it.
I think for me, it's just the South Carolina chapter, and then I might consider taking weddings later on, maybe in Texas, but I'm really taking this new start and putting down roots, like in our new home, or wherever we end up next. I'm taking that as an opportunity to kind of like
Do something
start
different.
a new chapter, and that's why I'm really kind of like working towards this like educator position, because I know school crafted me like no other. Like it was literally boot camp, 812 hours, Monday through Friday. I was there for months, dealing with the same group of girls, which that was the hard part, because I was living in like an educational housing building, which most of the girls in my class were also. So it was like the same people you were seeing during school you were probably hanging out with at night for months at a time. It was just so much drama.
Oh, I bet.
And we were all immature. So on top of which, it was rough.
It's like that all the time. Like, even without living with people, when I went to cosmetology school, God, like, some days really was so emotionally exhausting. Like, it felt like high school.
Dude, literally, though.
It's like, God dang, man. And especially because I feel like in the beauty space, a lot of girls get into it super young. And, like, you know, I'm older. Like, I'm going to be 30. I have kids. Like, I'm a little bit more mature. So, just the stuff they be arguing about or the energy that they bring. And I'm like, bro, you are disrupting my class time. And I need to, like, learn something right now. You're pissing me off.
Dude, and that's why I think me signing up for SD school was so scary. Because I was like, I never thought I'd be going back to school. But now that I'm like, okay, I'm actually excited about it. Now I'm worried about being the older person in class. But I've come with so much more experience that at the end of the day, like, they can't tell me shit. Like,
yeah,
I don't care if you've got 30 million fucking viewers on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like, if we're in class, and you're disrupting my learning process, and I'm taking time away from my kids to be here, we gonna fight.
Oh yeah, I think I was like definitely not very light. I was just like, but it'd be like that. Honestly, I think if you're an outspoken person, period, you are just gonna have a ton of enemies. Because even in high school, people tried to bully me, and I was like, you thought.
You know, that's funny because I feel like I was on the other end of that, where I just like.
You were a bully?
No, like I was that person that just didn't feel strong enough to like speak up for myself, and I think those are the moments in my life that always come back to haunt me. Were the moments where I should have opened my mouth and I didn't, and I think that's why I'm finally kind of like in this new era of myself. I'm kind of like speaking my truth, whatever it may be, even if it makes someone uncomfortable, like. You don't have to agree with me. But that doesn't mean I shouldn't open my mouth, and it doesn't mean that I shouldn't have a hard conversation because it makes someone uncomfortable. Unfortunately, it just is what it is.
And it just tells me you need to grow up, because if you can't have, like, somebody tell you that they disagree with this, or somebody just straight up tell you, hey, I don't appreciate the tone in which you talk to me, or I know you joke with your friends and y'all be calling each other like names and this and the third, but I don't speak to my friends like that. And I think most times people can just tell by the way I interact with you how you can and cannot come towards me. And sometimes people just are like taken aback with a person who will straight up be like, actually no, what we're not gonna do is this, that, or the third. Actually, you are wasting my time. Actually, can you be quiet? Like, if you're not understanding, that's because you're not reading when you go home.
Yeah.
Because there's no way we're all in here and I've learned something and you're sitting here saying you've learned nothing.
Yeah, especially when it's like an older person. That always kills me. I'm like, how are you older than me? And you a schmess.
It's embarrassing.
It is.
It very much is.
Because I'm like, listen, we all leave school, but some people continue to grow and some people don't, and that's on you. Ain't nobody forcing you to read a book. Ain't nobody forcing you to try to level up. It's what you hold standard to. Be around
people who, like, you can tell, like, some people really cannot maintain certain friendships because they have such little substance to themselves. You can't maintain a higher level of friendship because you have nothing to talk about. What are you going to be here saying, like...
You know, and then again, I feel like the greatest friendships that I always end up having are always some kind of professional relationship, because we're all on a growth journey and we kind of lean on each other to kind of guide us and to kind of check us at times. Versus, like, unfortunately, I feel like I'm a lone wolf most of the time. I have a hard time making, like, female friends, but like just like connecting period with just regular day other women, because I am always I always put too much on my plate. I'm always trying to do all the things besides raising kids. And some people are just okay being stagnant, and like, that's you, but I also don't want that around me.
Right,
you know?
because
now that influences me.
Yes, it does, because then you're going to be that friend where when I call you and I'm like, I'm just not feeling very motivated, you're going to be like, that's okay, give yourself rest, and that's cool. I need those kind of people, but I also need that person to be like,
but,
like
you need to get back at
right, you know what I mean? Like, give yourself a day, but
hit
tomorrow,
the ground running.
at least try to do something small. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need you to just be like, pacifying everything that I want to do. Like, every time I call you, you're just like, yeah, girl, you do you, or this, that, or the third. You know what I mean? Like I get it being a girl's girl, but girl, we don't always be right. Cut it out. You know what I mean?
True.
And like, it gotta be that person that's like, nah, she knows she shouldn't have did that. And it's like, right, thank you. Like, sometimes I do want an extra kick in the gut to be like, yeah, you are effing up.
Dude, and honestly, I think the older I get, the more I realize, like, as a kid it was nice because you could always just lean on mom or dad to tell you yes or no. And then you grow up and realize ain't nobody telling you that.
They don't give a shit. Your whole
it's
life
all you.
Burning.
Right. So having, you know, the friends that you keep, the people at your circle, sitting at your table with you, those are the people that influence so much about your character as a person too, you know? So it's all for something. Nothing's just a small thing.
Right. A very pivotal moment in my life was when I realized, I think it was a saying or something I watched. They were like, you are the sum of like the 7 people you hang out with or something like that.
And it's true.
And I was like, you are so right. And that made me really think harder about like my energy.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like just casually being around people.
Yeah.
Because I'm like me and I am doing the same. And unfortunately, I feel like what I'm depositing has some value, and what you're depositing right now is
trauma dumping.
Not really helping me at all.
Yeah.
So I'm going to finish up this convo, but we probably won't be speaking much again after this.
Speaking facts, and you know, and it's always hard. Like, I'm terrible at friend breakups. I'm such a ghoster.
It does suck. I do that too. I don't explain anything because I feel like by that point you should know why.
Because my thing is like, if it's something that I know that you can't change, why am I going to be the person to shit on you? Like, we just don't align, and that's okay, and I'm going to take a step back.
That's sweet.
But-
You're such a sweetheart.
But I can't be that person. Like, I hate having hard combos. It always makes me sad, you know, and I never want to shit on everyone. I always want everyone to feel welcomed and included and all the things, but sometimes it's just like, I just need solo time, and I just need time away from whatever energy it has been, you know, like people come in for a season, or what is it, a reason or a season, right? Whatever it is. And it's just true.
This person has lived this life. It's like down to the end, and you know it starts drying out. I'm like, I'm
Is
gonna
that
just...
Urban Decay?
Yes, I love.
Girl, I don't know. I feel like there's nothing anyone could say about me that could make me pissed off enough to like actually put my hands on.
You've never been in a fight? Damn, that's crazy.
Maybe when I was younger, but not like a for real serious fight. Like,
damn, I cannot.
almost a few times, but
it's
always when
overrated.
I've been a little bit too lit, because that's why I don't really drink a lot.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, I do think it comes from a very spiritual place. Because when I think of my time period where I used to fight a lot, I had a lot of fucking baggage and shit. It just was like, and I know that's why I was so easy to pop off. Like, I could almost feel myself losing control of myself. Like, I'd get so heated, my heart would just like I'm either gonna have a heart attack or I'm gonna have to hit you. So you're
Like,
gonna die if I don't fight you, man. Like, I must.
Dude, but heard though, like, and that's what I'm saying. I think maybe it's just like the place where I'm at, like, mentally now. I'm just like, you know, anybody that has an issue, it's really their fucking issue. It's not mine.
Oh yeah, because that's how I am now. That's why I say I know for a fact it's a spiritual thing. Because I'm like, right now, like you said, I would never. And when I see people that are still like in that angry phase, it makes me feel bad because I'm like, girl, I was there. I could tell you. A little bit of therapy, some shadow work will do you.
Some journaling.
That too. Watch some podcasts, listen to something, I don't know. Get up and watch some motivational videos before you just throw yourself into a chaotic day.
No, literally. We all have to find a way to cope with our life and personal challenges. But the thing is about, like, trying to set yourself up and be your own best friend, right? Be your own fucking soulmate. Set yourself up for a good day. Set yourself up for the things you want to do. Like, life is too short. I don't want to fucking wait until my husband, if he wanted to stay in for a career, to get out at almost 40 to then start a life and put down roots for my family. Like, life is so fucking short, man.
And I
Gotta
mean,
live it up now.
people just need to get to really learn themselves, because I think a lot of people really have no personal identity.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, even a lot of the time I feel that way too. Like,
because being sucked into being
Dude,
a mom and
all the
wife.
things, yeah, like that shit is so much, especially since it happened so
It is.
fast for me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you would look at my list of, like, accomplishments and you'd be like, oh, this person knows who they are. And I'm like, no, I struggle with so many things on a daily basis. Fucking trauma triggers, fucking my fear of, like, public speaking or having hard conversations. And, like, all the other setbacks that are in my own head, you know? Like, we all have that shit. But it's like, are you hindering yourself or are you helping yourself? That's what it comes down to. You feeding the good or the bad wolf. Like, you have one option, you know, and you can't half-ass growth. Like, you have to just be dedicated to fucking up until you figure it out.
And it is consistent work. Like having one good day or this, that, and a third does not mean that tomorrow you can't, like, have a completely different experience.
100%. And that's the thing, too. I don't know what it is, but, like, becoming a new mom, it's like Groundhog Day. Every day you're like, oh, fuck, another day. What day is it? What time is it? Like, you're just so out of place. Like, literally. And then kind of, like, starting to grow out of that and, like, realizing, okay, and, like, here I am, like, you know, like, new decade for you, mama. Like, you're turning 30 this year. I'm turning 26.
Really? So how was being 25? Because I think for me, 25 was...
25, I had the worst birthday ever.
I probably did too. I had a midlife crisis for my 25th.
I hated my 25th birthday. I don't know what it was just, like, super overwhelming, and I was like, this is the worst birthday I've ever had.
That's how I felt. I was like, damn, like, I think 25 felt like 30. what people think 30 is gonna feel like. 'Cause
Yeah.
to me, once I heard 25, I was like, I'm basically 30. And then I just was like, you know, that halfway mark, you just kind of realize, damn, like, so much time has passed. And then you start assessing your life to see if you feel like you've accomplished what you thought you would. And just felt horrible. I was like, damn, I don't even see what the hell I'm out here celebrating.
No,
I need to be getting to work.
No, literally.
Like,
no, I agree. But at the same time, I also feel like 25 was like a pivotal healing year for me.
mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like I can finally talk about my trauma without like bawling about it. You know what I mean? And like, I've never been able to do that before. And I feel like this year for me, like, my healing year for last year kind of like bled into this year, because this year I'm just all about like
you're reaping,
breaking out of like the boxes that I've put myself in, and like learning all the things. Like I'm always like, oh, I'm such a bad dancer. I want to take a fucking dancing class.
Hell yeah!
I'm about to see me twerk out here. No, I'm just kidding.
Shoot, I might need to go skydiving.
Dude, and I'm just like, man, you know, I'm tired of like, it's the narrative I've told myself. I tell myself I'm a terrible public speaker. I'm really not. I'm just nervous like everyone else, but I need to practice more and put myself out there. So I'm like at a point where I'm like, I'm gonna do all the things that I said I couldn't.
Look down, don't close.
Prove it to myself.
So let's talk makeup artist stuff. Favorite products? Do you have favorite products?
Honestly, I love NARS so hard.
They're one of your favorite brands?
I do love NARS so hard. I love Artist Couture. I discovered Artist Couture at like, I think it was the makeup show in New York a million years ago, and I bought their like loose highlighters, and I've been in love.
I have some.
Since. I literally need to buy some of their palettes, because I mean, I love Anastasia for their eyeshadows, so blendable. I recently just bought my first Jeffree Star product, and it actually has
What did you buy? The lip or?
I bought the Orgy palette. And I've been loving it because the Master Mattes was always sold out, so I was like, well, this is like, if not more of the same like basic colors and like bigger product.
Yeah, his hand sizes are makeup artists.
For real. I've been loving the one size spray. That's a given. What else? I recently bought the Dior highlighter palette, and I freaking love that thing. I really do.
I have their eyeshadow palette.
But for me,
this lash. First of all, let me brag on your lashes, because okay, I love that it's a clear band. Right now you can see the glue because it's still. But I love that. Anytime I see a lash with a clear band, I'm like, chef's kiss. And one thing I will say too, most times when you need like a more like glam lash, you're not gonna get a clear band with it. It's gonna come with a thick black lash because it goes with that liner look and
the thickness.
Right, it adds to the fullness. But being able to get that fullness and the effect it just had on your eyes without having to be
uncomfortable or thick.
Yeah, or just giving me options. Because if I decided not to do the liner on you, that clear band just allows me to do, just being user friendly, you know what I mean? I think it's great that it's a type of lash where anybody can buy it and not feel like, yeah, I have to be a makeup girly to buy this.
Right.
You know what I mean?
The thing is that they are geared for a different audience, you know, and that's okay. I have a glamorous lash line that I poured my heart and soul into, and I love more than anything. But it's catered to anybody. It's catered for my professionals that know that they need range and flexibility. It's catered towards my freaking girls that are struggling to wear lashes but want to feel glam but don't know how, or the other ones are just too fucking hard. Like, I'm trying to provide all the tools to make it as easy as possible and enjoyable. Because first of all, there's no point in me loving my lily lashes if I'm going to be crying by 6 p.m. and I want to take them off because they're not comfortable. Or my eyes are bloodshot red. Like, what is the point of that?
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's just me. That's just me, though.
It's not just you. It's all of us.
I've heard good things about the Danessa Myricks Color Fix. I want to buy the palette of nudes. Like,
The
deep in
Danessa,
the
I would
color
say
as much,
it's...
but I like how buildable it is. I just don't think for liner it's for me. But I love Danessa because I met her, and she's the reason that
You met her?
started my YouTube channel.
You're
she was like,
lying.
baby, she was like, your energy is elite. She was like, you need a YouTube channel. I was like, Danessa, just for you, I'm gonna start
Say
one.
less. Like, if she says I need a YouTube channel,
I was like, I need a YouTube channel. So, yeah, she's the reason I started it. But, like, everything else, though, like, she's such a fabulous artist. Her line is amazing. Like, the product itself, I love everything about it. The packaging,
That's what I was gonna say. That is what I love most about her line. Look, oh, sorry. Jesus Christ. I keep getting lightheaded. I need to eat right after we leave here. But I think what I like most about her line is definitely like the packaging. I love how thoughtful it is. I feel like the market is so saturated because I think once the rise of social media came, like the beauty industry just like shot up. Mm-hmm. Everybody started trying to be like, oh, I'm a hairstylist, I'm a makeup artist, I'm a this, I do that, I sell wigs, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. Could you imagine like in 2023 or 2024 trying to build a kit with as much stuff on the market? Because right now I'm in that era where I don't feel like they can really sell me nothing because I know I got everything I need in my kit, and it would have to be phenomenal as hell, or it's just something I just want to try, but I know I don't need, but I'll try it just to try it.
Mm-hmm. Only if it's got amazing reviews.
Who?
Only if it's got amazing reviews.
Right, or something like, and not just by people or YouTubers, but by like makeup artists. Mm-hmm. Like now I'm trying to like filter out my page because I feel like in the beginning I followed a lot of like beauty gurus. Mm-hmm. But now I'm like, when they pop up on my feed and I remember I still follow them, I just unfollow because I'm like, I want to follow working artists that inspire my artistry.
I hate when I'm trying to do lips and people are talking. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
So makeup application tips and tricks. Like, what are like your go-to ride or die things? Like, if you were to share with somebody, like, be like, oh, I want to get into makeup, or what's your tip for this? Or an issue that you know is common to makeup artists that you're like, oh, like, I used to have this problem, but let me tell you.
As far as like when it comes to like red lips, I feel like for the longest time I was stuck in like I have to line and then put in lipstick a lot of the time. Like if you don't have the time, I literally will just like roll on some lipstick, have them like roll it on top of it around, and then kind of go and reline afterwards, and it's like literally like
perfect.
You can still spend more time correcting it with concealer than spending the time to do a perfect line just to have to go fill it in after. I feel like it's just like a little bit messier but faster. Otherwise, I don't know. If someone's getting like, well, I do touch-up kits too, right? So whenever I'm like, okay, you have your touch-up kit, you have a straw, you have an oil blotting wipe, I give them their powder puff.
Using like things that already exist on the market to like make your job easier. So like for example, things like these. Like, I could have been using it right now, but, like, this and this.
Yeah, like a mascara
lifesavers. Yeah, like, even, like, as far as creating, like, a cut crease.
Oh, yeah.
People that are like, because, look, it fits perfectly in your crease. And you can turn it so many different ways. You can put it up underneath. Like,
I have that one, but I never used it, and that's why I just
I barely use it.
But that one, the
you can do so much. One, even, like, a wing liner, you put it right here at the end. And you don't have to think about really being careful with your hand. You just, I feel like when you're moving fast, that's, things like this is necessary. I don't have time afterwards to clean it up. So I needed to be perfect the first time I put it on. So I feel like things like that.
What was I going to say? Tape. How do you feel about people taping up?
For a wing liner?
For eyes.
I do it. Like, I haven't done it. Like, I don't even have tape in my kit, honestly. Look down. Just because, truthfully, when I'm working, I don't have the time to do it. But, I mean, it's definitely a trick that works. You know what I mean?
True. Or, like, the shadow shields. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep. And I feel like maybe also because it has gotten easier for me to just do it without needing the aid. But, I mean, it definitely works. And I feel like one thing I will say to you, especially to a newer artist, don't let nobody shame you or you trying to look like you're so experienced that you're like, oh, I don't want to do this or I don't want to seem like an amateur or this or that. I'd rather my work look damn good than me be out here being prideful. You know what I mean?
True.
Because you're just only going to look dumb trying to fake the funk. And at the end of the day, it is going to show in the work.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So you might as well do whatever you need to do.
What you got to do.
And have him be like, oh, like, I was a little nervous when I saw you using this or that because I thought maybe you didn't know what you was doing. But when you hand them that mirror and they're like, oh,
shit.
Okay. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather that response than you trying to be cute to impress other people. And then you're like, oh, I don't know. Can you just fix this or better?
No, but I hear you, though. Yeah, I think at first when I started, I would... at least with my own makeup too, like I would use the tape, but I think like the more that you practice on different eye shapes, like I feel like you don't really need it unless it's like a time crunch. Then it's almost smarter because it's less cleanup you have to do, you know, so you're becoming more efficient. But I think a lot of people do it.
Jesus.
I think a lot of people do it at first because they know it's like that layer of like protection, which totally makes sense.
That's what I did, and I mean. It was a while before I stopped doing that, too. Angles.
Girl, you got all the angles, bye.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, thank you so much. This looks amazing. Well, to conclude this episode, I would like to think that my portfolio speaks for itself. I've had a lot of great and bad experiences as a makeup artist over the last almost decade of my life, but I think it's brought me closer to being the kind of artist that I want to be and providing the best possible service for my personal clients. So hit me up if you're in South Carolina and want some glam, and on top of which, please check out Amavi Lash, the 22 different lashes that we have and growing. That's about it. That's all I got going on.
All right.
To party, who it up, she baby. I won't tell nobody. 내가 널 지켜줄게 however you want it, my baby.